I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
What are you? He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. From day one, you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I'll proudly stand up next to you. Oh, God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you.
What up? We are here. It is Talk That Talk Tuesday. Steve Kim joins us. We're going to talk about a little bit of George Foreman with him. Shout out to Al Bernstein yesterday for hopping on to talk about the legend himself and the voice of boxing to many, along with Jim Lampley, who we might get on this week as well. The voice of the University of Houston Cougars, Jeremy Branham, joins us today. And he'll talk about the University of Houston. He's the play-by-play color commentator for the University of Houston Cougars. He'll join us today as well, talk about the number one seed Houston, who I have picked to win it all. So we'll have him on in the second hour, and we'll see if Big Smitty, my esteemed co-host, is back from vacation or not. Plus, shout out to Josh Pastor for joining the show yesterday as Shaun King dropped a gem of a question to him and asked him, hey, would you ever become the UNLV head coach? And he looked kind of side-eyed, and guess what happened? He became the UNLV head coach literally right after the show ended. And I texted him congratulations, and shout out to Coach, man, to Josh Pastner for getting back on the horse, so to speak. So we're going to dive into that as well. So pound that like, subscribe, become a member. We are back, powered by BetUS TV. So make sure you use our promo code. Head on over there and tell them we sent you. Let's dive right into it, man. It is Talk That Talk Tuesday. And obviously you see the thumbnail. Shout out and T's and P's to the homegirl Juju Watkins at USC as she has torn her ACL. We're going to dive into that unfortunate mishap. USC didn't need her to get past Mississippi State, but I'm sure they would need her to win it all. We're going to dive into it. But we are in the era of name, image, and likeness. Let me make sure I please put that in quotations. Name, image, and likeness. We call it the NIL. Yet we have no clue who any of these players are. You don't know their name. So how is it their name? You have zero clue who they are. Yet we don't ever see their image. So how do we call it name and image? And we surely don't recognize their likeness. And some of y'all still will argue with me that it's not pay to play. Make it make sense. These kids sell less merch than ever before NIL ever existed, by the way, contrary to belief. We all thought name, image, and likeness was going to be jersey sales in the student store. Yet they get paid directly, but they perform at a lower level. They play less minutes on their respective field or courts. It has ruined the mid-major in college hoops. The mid-major or the Cinderella team is dead, and the transfer portal is the devil. And if the transfer portal is the devil, then the NIL is the devil wearing angels' wings. It is all a facade to lure the player for one season and one season only, and then they are on to the next school to get the next bag. Look at the women's game. The mid-major is even worse off at that level than it is the men's level. You know, yesterday we discussed it. The women don't need 64 teams in this tournament, and it is equivalent to the mid-major dying at the men's level. But what do I know? Let's dive right into it, man. My main man, let's see and do a wellness check to see if my esteemed co-host, Far East Sider, 317, LeBron Hairline having, Lamar Jackson loving, AR5 defending, Caitlin Clark jocking, Fox Sports' very own, Big Smitty. Is he in? I don't want to be little. I don't want to be little with him.
Yeah, keep him little, man. Keep him little because the main star of this show is finally back. I had a little hiatus, man, for a couple of days. I had to head to the East Coast with the wife. You know what I mean? A happy wife is a happy life, and she's extremely happy right now. So we have a great household right now. That's what a real man, a real leader
What did you do?
Does.
What did you do? What did you do wrong to have to fix it?
Didn't do nothing wrong, homie. It was her birthday week, so we wanted to do an extended celebration. She loves to visit New York, the culture out there, the food, the different things to do. And it was a concert out there, Cleo Soul. Shout out to Cleo Soul, the real ones know. She wanted to see, so we took her out there, had a great time. We had fun in the hotel. We had fun outside the hotel. Amazing weekend. Now we back, though. I miss y'all, man. I heard I had a good show without me, but it wasn't that good. It's going to be better today. And it wouldn't be this show. It wouldn't be this show, Jason, without my main man, Real Truth, Ron, Blue, Monty, Jesse U from the LBC, Chris DeBono, B Nickel, Boston Richie, and of course, Ill Bill, man. We live right now, Bailey in the background, and I'm turned up. What's going on, Jason?
I got you a gift.
What you give me, homie?
As you know, I like to go out on the water and spend nice days, 75, 74 degree. I go out on the water. I'm going today. So we need to hurry the show up. We need to hurry show up and get over with. Then I got Shaun Salisbury show. Then I got to go all smoke. Then I got a Whitlock. So anyway, but out of the kindness of my heart,
yeah,
I got you something to break the fear of being on the water.
For me?
Take a look.
Avocado toast, homie?
I got you a yacht, homie.
That's my yacht?
It's your yacht.
Who's at the end?
Bad edit.
Who's at the end?
I fucked up the editing. I bought you this, homie.
Oh, I'm trying to lock in on and avoid the end. Thank you. I mean, this is my yacht. You know I love avocado toast. I eat this every single morning. This is literally, I mean, I'm almost speechless, homie. I love the green top. The green kind of, is a match to like the guacamole that they put over the top of the actual toast and avocado they put over the toast. This is perfect, homie. How much it run you? Was it expensive? Do I owe you anything?
I mean, nah, just, I owe you.
I owe you. All right, homie. Well, this is
great. I owe you, so I'm giving it to you.
I appreciate you, homie. I appreciate that. I'm listening.
You really owe me, but I owe you. I
will be on there then. I mean, I can't tell you to buy something so expensive and I don't utilize it. So, I mean, this is thoughtful. You don't have to do it, and I truly appreciate it. Can you keep the video playing to the end? Why do you keep cutting out so early? I kind of want to see the ending one more time.
There's nothing to see, but here's the cool part.
I see the ending again. Joe Cord, massive storm, JB, going to push northwest swells to 6 to 8 feet off Long Beach. I wouldn't be out in that water. Thanks, Joe Cord, for the weather update.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Joe Cord may be right with tornadoes and shit. He has never been right at all when it comes to the water weather.
Hey, I want Joe to actually make a video at home with a green screen, daily, and send us a video of him giving a weather report, 15, 30 seconds. He does it himself. He just send it to us, and we put it into the show. The weather report with Joe Cord.
Joe Cord has never. Joe Cord sent me 5 times at high swells, and it's been like glass.
look, you man. Look, homie. Look what you said.
Shout out to Joe Cord. Joe Cord, you've been wrong in the water though. You got to stick to tornadoes, homie. Stick to that land shit. Ocean's different ball game.
It's all right.
Shout out to everybody, man. We're back. I'm white. He's black. We are in the building.
Racist show, homie. Racist show.
Unbelievable shows without you. And upside down Coke bottle. It said she's willing to come back because of the growth of the show. And I said, I
spoke to her the other day to try to get a more insight, and she gave me a different perspective. She said that she did everything that she was asked to do.
You what her?
I spoke with her to get a different.
Oh, you spoke with her?
Yeah. And she said that she told me a whole nother story than compared to what you said. He told me she did exactly what you asked her to do. You guys met up similar how we met up. It was virtual though at the time when you guys did it. And she did exactly what you asked her to do. But whenever she tried to give her opinion, you just completely dogged her out and didn't allow her to speak because she was a woman. So she said that was the real truth behind it. So I just want to give you a chance to kind of defend yourself, homie. Is she telling the truth or I don't know? What's up, homie?
Nah, she had no ass and she didn't gawk.
Oh,
that was really number one reason.
Got you. Okay, that makes sense.
And she liked Tennessee and all that old bullshit. So
got you. Okay, that makes sense. I was trying to get a little clarity.
Yeah. We're gonna get to the quote of the day though, man. Brought to you by BetUS TV. Head on over to BetUS TV. You see it all over the place here as we're live on TikTok. Yeah, I'm back, TikTok. I know. Usually we used to have a few hundred people every morning. Now we're down to 40. I know. Y'all Asians kept me down. Tell them. So we're gonna get this thing going. Powered by BetUS TV. Smitty, you gotta let time expose them. You can't fake it forever.
That's kind of deep, homie. It's kind of deep.
You gotta let time expose them. They can't fake it forever, Smitty. A lot of you motherfuckers fake it for a little bit, for a while, but after that, time exposes you, dog.
It's kind of like, when you first meet somebody or that first interview at a job, your first 2 weeks at the job.
BBL, she got BBL.
Yeah, BBL. Everything's just perfect, You see Shorty in the club, hair done, eyebrow lash. But at some point, she gonna sleep over your crib, you gonna sleep over her crib, and you gonna wake up. And she didn't got comfortable. And she didn't washed her face off. And she didn't took the hair out the thing. And you gonna see her, the real person. You gonna see that real face. And that's what you're saying right here, JB. Just it take time. Just be patient, homie. I love that. I ain't gonna rank it, but I love it though.
Yeah. Contrary to belief, man, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there today. Use the promo code Coach JB. Smitty, contrary to belief, you can't force a person to respect you, but you can refuse to be disrespected.
Ooh, top 30. You can't put it back over quick, baby. One more time. Let me read it, baby. Let me read it. You can't force a person to respect you, but you can refuse to be disrespected. So let me ask you this, homie.
I just use that regular. That's a regular quote I use every day.
It's top 30. If someone disrespects you today, Jason, how are you handling it? How are you forcing them to not disrespect you? What are you doing?
There might be, man. We got a little issue down at the yacht. There's a big Mexican cat. He's about 400-pound cat. He's a security cat. He's a top-notch security guard. He thinks he's on Friday. Well, anyway, him and Ruben got a little beef going. And I had to check him the other day, and I had to come around then he brought all his homies, security homies, and then I had to bang on him even more. And then they got kind of scared because they were like, "Why is this crazy motherfucker taking on all 4 of us?" And I got AE with me, so I told him, I'm like, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to Google me, homie, and then come back to me next week.
That's not what you said, homie.
That's what I said, homie. And management's calling me I guess they've been getting complaints about these motherfuckers for a long time. I guess they go around in the underground. It's underground parking area. You've been there.
Oh yeah.
You motherfucker act like it's. By the way, there's 3 cars in the motherfucker. They always asking Ruben where's his tag at?
Oh, the little sticker thing.
So
I thought you had an extra one that you get. Oh, you only got 2 though total.
I know, but I get it. He has one. Now that's the thing.
Then why are you tripping?
I'm on me. I'm telling you, they got a little beef with
Hold
Ruben.
on, ain't Ruben Mexican?
Yeah, brown on brown. I'm just like y'all.
It ain't about us. So it ain't about us at all. More whites kill whites than any other race, but y'all want to hear that.
Nah, black on black crime and then brown on brown crime. Whites, we just sit back and watch it and get stronger.
Whites kill each other all the time. So hold on quick. You know what it is?
I never seen it. I never seen
it. Those are real like deal Mexicans, and then Ruben's like a Mexican American, so they probably like don't like that.
Nah, they're not even real Mexicans either.
Ah, dang, that's weird then. Why they hating?
I don't know.
That's crazy, man. Shout out to Ruben, man. If y'all need me for that, I'll pull up to the underground. I won't go on the yacht, but I'll pull up to the little underground, go to that Vons or that Ralph's or whatever, and get some chips, and we'll bang on these homies together, and I'll leave. Let me know. That's no problem.
I don't even got to show up.
King David Cartel said, just like y'all, it's nasty work. It really is, King David Cartel. I let a lot of stuff go in this show. I'm, moving forward, I got to a point now where this is like my show now too. I own 40% of the show. So now I'm about to start like every time JB say some wild stuff, I'm like, I'm putting my hands up.
I'm confused. What did he say?
He's quoting what you said when you said just like y'all, meaning black on black crime. He said that's nasty work. Like basically, like that's wild that you said that. So just know, homie. Everybody don't be careful, homie.
Truth hurts. Let me break in something real quick.
More whites kill whites and other the rest.
Black on black, brown on brown. Y'all got to come together, man, and make America great again. So listen, let's dive into what MAGA beanie did you end up getting in New York?
Man, I went to a little store, y'all, in New York, little bodega or whatever. They was selling some hats. I saw it was a black MAGA hat, a red MAGA hat. You know, me being funny, took a picture, sent it to Bailey and Jason here and said, hey, which hat should I get? They said both. I got neither. I get neither one of them, homie. Stop playing with me, homie. You know I don't rock with, you know what I mean? Look at this. Hold on, homie.
Is that Devin the dude?
Hold on, homie. What's going on? Is that some weed in his hand?
Oh, I thought it. Well, I don't even want to say it because that'd be real racist.
What you about to say? A piece of lemon pepper chicken? Oh, you so racist, homie. Like, you literally racist though. Like, we joke about it. You got a little bit.
How'd you know though?
Every white person a little racist.
How'd you know what it was? How'd you know what I thought and what it was though?
Because you said whatever you was gonna say was gonna be racist. It's obviously not watermelon, so okay, it's not no grape soda. So just you gotta eliminate stuff. Let's be real. Don't do that face, homie. Let's be real.
The real part is you knew exactly what it was.
Because there's only a few items that would be considered racist that you would call out. It ain't watermelon.
By the way, it's not racist. By the way, it's not racist. I like lemon chicken.
I like pig feet.
I like hog mogs. And by the way, the brothers with watermelon and fried chicken get the worst rap because I love that shit. Everyone I know loves watermelon, loves fried chicken. I don't know any race that don't.
I don't like watermelon, contrary to belief.
And you're way more racist than I am. So we're gonna dive into
every white person got racist in them. But let's keep going. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We got a whole rundown.
Every brother has racist.
Every white person I know, like behind closed doors.
Every brother I know, behind closed doors, cracker, white boy, honky. That's all y'all say. All y'all say. Honky, cracker, white boy. That's all y'all say.
The N-word heavy. Every white person.
I never heard it.
Use the N-word for sure.
I never heard the word in person. Right in front of me. Poll question, Smitty. Let's dive right into it. But before we do that, speaking of BBL,
what?
They say I got a BBL.
Pause, homie.
Yeah, homie. I don't know. Can you break down the video?
Why are you standing like that, homie? Hold on. Whoa. Whoa, chat. Come on now. I know y'all love Jason. Look how he's standing. He got a forward tilt he's in AE position. Like he's getting this is the pre-position before he gets in the full being. This is step 1 of AE. This looks horrible, homie. What you doing?
It's the win, homie.
Oh, JB twerking on the yacht.
It's
JB
the
twerking on
win.
the yacht.
It's the wind. We're going 55 miles an hour. The wind's blowing, and it's crazy, Smitty. All the DMs all the comments were like, JB got a BBL. That's what some broads were saying. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? And I didn't,
you got a diaper on, homie.
I didn't see the video until I looked. I was like, that's fucked up. No, my hands aren't on my hips, you fucking idiots. My hands on the steering wheel. We're going 55 knots, by the way.
They always gonna find a way to defend you, homie.
Because I was diving in the ocean. Their swim trunks. I was diving in, homie.
They always gonna find a way to defend you. He said, "How you supposed to balance, Smitty? How you supposed to balance? You
see that?
That's the only way to stand. To balance.
What is going on? What's going on my screen?
Nothing. You look clear as day.
You don't see nothing in the middle?
You look super clear. Just keep talking, homie. Whatever's going on, we won't worry about it.
Man, my shit's tripping. That says add item, and it's purple.
We don't see it on our end. Your screen, your Wi-Fi.
All right. Well, if you don't see it, then I don't. Fuck it.
Nobody in chat sees it. Nobody in chat sees it.
Hold on. Let me find something. I saw some bitch assness.
Your Wi-Fi is trash.
My Wi-Fi legit. Let's see. Oh, right here. This guy, Travis.
What did he say?
He said he thinks the racist shit funny. Rode black kids' backs to win games. Now he doesn't need them. Racist is active in him.
Facts.
Don't hype him up, Smith. Don't get him fucked up. See, that's what y'all do. Y'all.
Who's y'all? See, you adding just step by step. You adding fuel to the flame, homie. Fuel to the flames. Every white person is a little bit racist to some degree. Now, there's some who are just overtly racist. Wow, just out here, just let you know exactly where they stand. And then there's the Jasons, who's kind of.
And then there's the brothers who just want to instigate everything, like at the barbershop. That's all y'all do. That's all he doing. That's all he doing.
You ain't been to the barbershop in years, homie. You don't know what we do.
I go all the time.
You cut your own hair now. Don't lie. Come on now. You cut your own hair. Be real.
Yeah. I still go to barbershop. Still go to barbershop though. That's where I get my liquor.
Once every year, homie. Now you snitching on the homie. Let's keep the show rolling. What we got first, man? Let's keep the show rolling.
I got the homie LIQ, homie liquor. The liquor man, homie, we call him LIQ.
Yeah, but you snitching on him,
Anyway, anyone in here who want to address me in person, come on through. Looters Park. Come on through. Meet me there at the house in Compton. Anytime you want. Oh, bitch ass motherfuckers. Anytime you want to question me, come through. Bet you won't. And I'll give you the address. Oh, bitch ass motherfuckers. That's what the bottom line is. The bottom line is you won't show up. But you're going to talk that shit on a typewriter. Little bitch ass.
Anyway. Shout out to Jane. Shout out to homie Jane. Me and Gina came a long way, man. I ain't gonna lie. We had our battles, our highs, our lows. We got to a good understanding. We don't always agree, but it's a respect level right there. So I appreciate. Shout out to Jane, man. Happy to see you.
Username 442-330-4487 said I'm soft.
That sounds like some Star Wars character. R2D2. User 34578.
I'm up on TikTok. Username 748-484-321. I'm like, that's a real name?
They just made that account.
God damn, homie. JB, I'll give you the Addy. Shut up. You guys are in this fucking show watching us live. Shut the fuck up. By the way, become a member before I drop your bitch ass like a bad habit. Before I drop this bitch like I did this bitch.
Why are we doing these Friday lines? You doing Friday lines? Come on, homie. Stop, homie. I put you on Friday. You just saw it a couple weeks ago on TNT, the edited version. I've been seeing it. Come on, homie.
You still ain't seen Menace to Society, but anyway,
let's move on, man. That's the saddest movie of all time, homie. That's one of the saddest movies of all time.
Menace to Society?
Yes, one of the saddest movies of all time. The way it ended at the end, he about to leave the hood, go to Atlanta, change his life around, man. Like he got the kid that he gonna take care of, be the stepfather. He got a good, beautiful black queen who's changing his life. the homies helping them move. And it's every time you try to get out, man, I get emotional thinking about it. Every time you try to get out the hood, man, they want to bring you back in. They want to bring you back to their level. And they shot at my homie, man. And him being a selfless black king, he thought about the baby. He thought about the baby first. He crawled over, man. I see the scene in my face. He crawled over and covered up the baby. Oh my God. That's one of the sad. Like I cry every time I see that scene, homie. It's one of the all-time saddest scenes of all time.
I'm gonna be honest though. Let's keep it racist and keep talking about racism. This cat said, "Can I use Klarna for my membership?" Now I don't know if many of you know who Klarna is.
Payments.
But let's be honest, homie. That's BPS because Klarna has accepted a deal with Uber Eats and food delivery services, and you can now set up a payment plan to have a fucking Snickers delivered to your house, homie. If that's not BPS, I have no fucking idea what it is. See, that's what y'all do. Y'all will string out a bill better than anyone I know. This motherfucker, you buy a Jordan, but no, it's not. You'll buy a pair of Jordans, homie, and you'll get on a payment plan for them motherfuckers. And you think you win in paying $18 a month, but you really paid $300. Homie, what's cracking? Somebody taking over my computer, homie.
But eventually we stopped paying, homie. And then we just...
Homie, somebody just took over my computer, moved my mouse, and went to a tab, homie. And opened a new tab up and went to some sort of like cryptic ass. Somebody might be on my shit, homie. I'm real shit.
Can you record? I'm gonna tell you funny. Can you record what you're talking about with your cell phone on a serious note so we can see?
Hold on, I gotta make sure.
Or does Bailey have control of your laptop right now, or no?
No, I'm not on a desktop.
Are you sure your shirt didn't like rub against the mouse or something?
I mean, the mouse right over here. I don't know. I mean,
I didn't know you old, and you know
that was weird. Then I had that other shit earlier, that purple shit I told you about on me. I think it's just, I don't know, man.
If you need to, you can restart the computer, get it restart, and then I'll just hold it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been doing stuff at a high level for a long time, homie. I don't really need you here, so you can restart.
Is FA in the chat?
Why? Why FA? I'm just curious. Like, out of all the names, we got 1,000 people in the show. 2,000, really. 26. Why FA specifically? I saw something the other day, man. Yesterday, it was a pastor. He locked the church doors in, right? And he said it was time for the collection plate to come around. And he basically was like, we got 1,000 people here live, 1,000 people watching it through the stream. But he was more so focused on 1,000 people there physically, right? He locked the doors. He said, y'all ain't got nowhere to be but the restaurant anyway. He said, if all of y'all gave $20 here, and he was like, matter of fact, and then he said, for all the virtual, if all of y'all gave $20, that's it. $20 ain't nothing. He said it'd be $40,000 today in the church. So he literally locked the door, locked them in, and forced them to give each person $20. Well, they wasn't gonna be able to leave. That's crazy. I've been going to church my whole life, but there's some churches and some pastors that make it look so bad.
But
it makes it like it's horrible.
But I'm racist.
But what came to my mind, I was like, dang, I said, you know, we be having like 2,000 people in our show too. So they all get $2,000 and we lock the doors. It'd be the same thing.
But ain't that black on black crime, really?
No, that's horrible for what that pastor was doing. I'm not defending that at all. That example.
My point, though. That's why I told you. We talked about this. I go to black churches, homie. That's all they do.
You ain't been to church.
Yeah, they do. The motherfucker close the doors. He'll close the doors, homie, on your ass real quick.
You ain't been to church in decades, so don't lie. Number one. Number two.
By the way, you and I are in church every day.
Don't use a bad example and use that to define an entirety of the race.
Everywhere. It's happening everywhere.
And what we do. I can point out so much stuff that happens in the white side. I mean, I saw a white couple take black kids and make them slaves the other day, and they got 365 years. That don't mean all y'all do that. So don't use one bad example and use that to define the entire race. Let's keep this train rolling, man. What we got? It's almost 7 o'clock, homie.
Yeah, I don't know how that thing would have went over there. Should I restart, Bailey? It's not doing it, but I don't know. That shit was crazy. Let me restart it, Big Smitty, because I think my shit's tripping because I got all kind of shit going on. What is this? Present or invite? You see that?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see nothing. Hey, just restart, homie, and I'm gonna talk to the chat. Chat, send me some questions. I'm gonna talk to y'all for a minute. What we doing? What's going on, y'all? I come back. The first day I come back, y'all want to get all sloppy and get crazy.
I think FA got me. I'm gonna come back. I think
JB nervous, ain't he? Somebody said JB nervous. I came back, he didn't got nervous.
Nah, I think it's just my computer. Let me ask the poll question, Smitty, and then I'll restart it.
Yeah.
Poll question: will the Titans select Cam Ward at 1? Rumors are that's what it looks like. Cam Ward did a workout yesterday where he ran triple pass. Triple pass, which was is crazy work to me. These motherfuckers ran a double pass, homie, in a workout. That's why I said, I commented and said, no wonder quarterback plays so bad. But anyway, we'll show that. I'm sure Bailey will bring it up. I'll be right back. I'm gonna restart this motherfucker.
All right, man. We'll see JB here in a second, man. But to answer the poll question, will Cam go number 1? I'm gonna say yeah. The Titans need a QB. First of all, we know that. We've been talking about it for a while. And I don't think they can afford to miss out on another potential franchise quarterback. I know they've taken chances. You know, they just got Will Levis, 2 years ago. That didn't work. You know, they had Tannehill for a little while. I would actually say that did work, but it kind of maxed out, you know what I'm saying, as far as they went to the AFC Championship, if I'm not mistaken, and then from there it kind of you started seeing that train kind of go downhill, so to speak. So I think for them, Cam Ward, man, he's the obvious pick. I think he's the obvious number 1 quarterback in this draft. I do think Shedeur is close, but I just think when you look at the film, you look at how the ball comes off his hands, even at pro day, but look at the entirety of his career, it just comes out a little bit more natural. He has a bigger arm, he moves well. He's a winner. I mean, this is the best we've seen the U in quite some time, and obviously it's a team effort. But we know if you don't have a good QB, then your team won't be good. Here's the triple pass that JB was talking about, which is kind of insane. But to their credit, they ran it to perfection, and I guess he's just trying to show you, hey, I can do trick plays, I can throw on the run, throw outside the pocket, stay in the pocket, throw it, whatever you need me to do. I'm versatile as a quarterback, and I can do all things. So they're having fun with it. He's confident. And I think the Titans do draft him, and I think it's the start of the Titans getting back to being a respected football team. They're in the AFC South, we know, with my Colts, the Jags, and the Texans. And let's be real, AFC South right now is probably one of the worst, if not the worst, division in football. You can go out there, win 9 games, go 9-8, maybe 10-7. And win that division and have home field, first game in playoffs, right? So, and the Titans, they have some pieces now. They got pieces on that defense, you know what I'm saying? They're bringing back Tony Pollard at the running back position. Like they have weapons there on that team. So it won't take much for them to get to that 9-win, 10-win season. And we saw, we bring up the Texans. We saw what happened when they got CJ Stroud. You get a good quarterback with the right system, right head coach who understands the strengths and weaknesses of that QB, and your season can turn around just like that. We saw it with CJ Stroud. We saw it with Jaden Daniels. And, those are the most recent, quarterbacks that we saw with, but we saw it in previous years, whether it was with Cam Newton, with the Panthers, Andrew Luck, etc. So I'm not saying Cam is of that level, but we don't know yet. Even all of us who were fans of CJ Stroud and Jaden Daniels, I think we got hooked up to a lie detector test and said, hey, will Jaden Daniels make it to an NFC championship his rookie year? Will CJ Stroud take the Texans to the playoffs his rookie year and win, what was it, double-digit games, I think, his rookie year, or maybe it was 9? I think we were telling the truth, would have said, nah, not rookie year. So my point in saying it is we're often wrong about quarterbacks in the draft. That's what I always tell JB. I'm like, listen, I know you think this is the worst quarterback draft of all time and no quarterback in this draft will be good. There's always at least one that shocks us or surprises us that ends up overperforming or ends up living up to the hype. I think Cam Ward's a guy put on with the Titans that can actually live up to the hype and be good and actually surprise JB. So That's what I'm going with. And JB, do we got you back? Can you hear us?
Yeah. Whatever you said is bullshit. Here's the bottom line. Cam Moore's not very good.
Okay.
And the quarterback class is horrible. And why are you going to continue to waste picks on quarterback? Like, when do you start getting better as a roster, Smitty? Real shit, real talk. When are you going to get better as a roster? When are they going to start drafting somebody that matters?
They got other picks in the draft, homie.
How many quarterbacks have you taken, though? How many quarterbacks picks have been wasted on that roster in the last 5 years? How many?
So what? Just give up and just stop trying to get it?
No, but just, I mean, go. The motherfucker should have just went veteran, homie. Veteran, go get a Russell Wilson for a year and get better. Like, fuck. I mean, I don't understand it. Like, every year, though, every year I keep saying this, I'm the hater. But then every year I'm proving that this is correct fucking message. Like, every year, the fucking team that takes the quarterback that don't get better around the roster is worse. Every year. Like, every single year. The Bears won 5 out of 6 to end it with fucking Justin Fields. They draft Caleb Williams. The team does what? Oh.
Same thing.
No, not the same thing. They were much worse. And by the way, didn't go get an O-lineman, didn't address any need position, and they thought quarterback was going to be the savior. It's not, homie. The quarterback drafts are horrific. And I get it. Russell Wilson's done. Like, he's over the hell. I get it. But as far as a veteran bridge gap, that's it. I'm just telling you. But I'm leaning. I'm actually with you. I think that they probably do draft him at 1. I would take somebody else. But I'm just saying. I think they are going to take him at 1, and you're starting right back over. And then in 2 years, Bailey's going to be sad and sitting here, and we're going to be talking about drafting fucking Arch Manning. Like, yeah, every year, homie. That's all the Titans do. They're fucking horrible. They're right there with the Jets and the Giants. They're fucked up, homie. They're fucked up. You got rid of Vrabel, you fucked your whole thing off. So that's just what I'm saying, Smitty.
I hear you. Homie. Well, let's move on to our main topic, I would say, of the day, the thumbnail, man. Unfortunate news. Superstar college basketball player Juju Watkins sustained a season-ending injury in the second round NCAA tournament yesterday. She's going to undergo surgery and then begin rehab shortly thereafter. Very, very sad, unfortunate situation, man. Seeing the play go down, it was kind of weird. Like, she's dribbling down the court. I don't think it was on purpose or anything. I think the defender was just trying to play her close, probably try to maybe even intentional foul her, I would assume, just to kind of slow down the momentum. And I don't know if their knees bumped together or what, but you kind of just saw the knee like give out. And it sucks because she's the best player in women's college ball right now and was on pace to break seems like every record. You know, and again, I'm not saying that that's over now. It's just that it's going to be delayed because he's tore ACL. It's going to be out for a pretty long time. And now it looks like, as good as the USC team has been playing, their number 1 seed, I don't see them making it too much further without Juju Watkins. Now, they were able, shout out to them, they were able to win that game without Juju, and I'm having a brain fart, but another player on their team went off, had like 36. So, like, USC not going to just fold now, but I think without Juju, as they get closer to some of these, like, top teams, well, once they get to the nitty-gritty, I just don't think they'll have enough now to win it all. So, but prayers up for Juju. She's a dog, one of the most exciting players, in the game, and just hate to see this, JB. Hate to see this for sure. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, it's sad when the best go down, man. That's what it is. The issue is, we were talking about this yesterday. You need your stars because this NIL era has eliminated the mid-major. It has eliminated, in my opinion, the competitive nature. The 64 round of 64 needs to be lowered to like 32. We're gonna have Coach Yo on this week. Ole Miss has her team in the Sweet 16. She comes on this time of the year. Texted her yesterday. I'm going to ask her specifically, are there too many teams in the field? Do we have to have just 64 teams to say it's 64 teams? Because at this stage, Smitty, it's sad to watch. These girls get beat 105-30. USC allowed 25 points in round 1. Duke allowed 25 points in round 1. That's crazy work for a full game. 25 points. And then a team like San Diego State plays LSU and gets beat 108-48.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. That would make
sense.
Come on,
dog. You don't need those teams. Those teams don't need to be in this tournament just to say I'm on national television and get embarrassed. And that's my real opinion. I think you go to 32 and make this thing much more competitive. And I'm going to ask Coach Joe that. I just think it's too many teams in this thing because NIL, so everyone's out there that think it's so great, it is ruining both men's and women's as far as mid-majors, future possible upsets, Cinderella teams that we've always loved in the tournament. This is going to be 4 ones on both sides are going to be in the Final Four. Now, maybe this one here is the 1 seed that may get fucked off because of their injury. So T's and P's to Juju, man. What's up? Man, unfortunate for USC. I'm a UCLA guy. If I had to, root for somebody, but I never root for somebody's injury, like especially Juju, man, from the city, who's been killing it. The best player, by the way, heads and shoulders above Caitlin Clark as far as transcending as far as the path goes. Remember, she's going to be player of the year just as in her sophomore year. Make sure we're clear. She's going to be player of the year in her sophomore year. Please answer me and riddle me this. When did Caitlin Clark become player of the year?
I'm going to look it up. I want to make sure I know it.
Not till after her junior year. She's much ahead. She's already beat her 2-year record in scoring, and she's already going to be the player of the year faster than Caitlin. She is clear-cut favorite to be better. Unfortunately, Smitty, my question to you, throw it back at you real quick, is can she recover from this and act as if this never happened? Because this is the problem. Like, this is the scary part. Like, can she not have can she come back stronger is my question. I hope she can. She's young enough. Because she's like true age, by the way. She's not a sit out. She's not a transfer portal 8 times. She's really, I don't know, maybe, how old is she? 20?
I'm 19, not sure what her age 19, is.
20? I would say she's 19, 20. I'm not sure. But
yeah, that's your question. She can and she will bounce back. ACL injuries today aren't like they were, 30 years ago. The technology and the way that they do things, these guys, these girls, both sides recover like no other. We saw the same thing happen with Paige Beckers, another one of the other biggest stars in the game, who played for UConn. She tore her ACL, I want to say her sophomore or maybe after her freshman year, and came back better than ever. So yeah, she will recover. I'm not worried about that. It's just a shame that we have to, have delayed greatness, right? So that's where I'm at. And again, I'm a huge fan of Juju. I think skill set wise, she has the bigger bag than Caitlin Clark. It has the ability when she was all said and done to surpass her. But you're not going to tell me right now if Juju stopped right now that she's already done enough to surpass Caitlin Clark.
Well, if
those are just the facts. We were talking about Caitlin Clark being in the conversation for the greatest was player of all time on the Iowa team that doesn't have nearly the top recruits that a lot of these bigger schools get, and she still had them playing in the Natty off the strength of her back. And we're not going to forget what she did for the college game and what she's done for the WNBA game as well in only 1 season. So we need to just pump the brakes again.
It's a trip, though.
I don't like giving out these little all-time awards before things are even done. And I thought you did either, but obviously you do. So
yeah, it's a double-edged sword, though. Y'all use a white girl to make your sport bigger, but then talk shit about her later on when she's garbage again. Like, come on, homie.
She's not going to be garbage. And
she is garbage.
Ain't anybody using her. And
by the way,
all these y'alls, homie?
By the way,
white people been hooping in basketball forever. So what are we talking about?
That's my point. She's nowhere clear. She's nowhere near Cheryl Miller. She's nowhere near fucking the greatest, in my opinion, Lisa Leslie. She's nowhere near Candace Parker. She's nowhere near Cynthia Cooper. She's nowhere near any of these broads. Y'all so quick to anoint these motherfuckers, homie. This shit be killing me, bro.
You're really anointing somebody already.
You're the first one, Smitty. You're the first one because you watch a few fucking girls games. You come on this show last year talking about motherfucking she's the greatest ever already, like Stephen A. Smith, homie. She ain't the greatest ever, homie. She's got even played a year yet.
Basketball, she's in the conversation.
No, she's not, homie. She's fucking garbage.
She's graduated. She played 4 years and graduated.
She's not
when
even
do we
Cheryl.
talk about it, homie?
She's none of these girls. She's none of these girls.
Year to talk about it? What are you talking about?
She's none of these girls. Y'all came on the show talking about, oh, she's the best ever. Woo, woo, woo. I'm like, homies, pump your brakes. But the white girl got the fame and gave the WNBA a name as this little corny milk of magnesia comes into the league, and she's literally put the league over the pedestal.
Why?
And I come out and say Juju Watkins is better, and then you sit here defending Caitlin Clark, but I'm the one saying this girl right here not only is better at the same age. Remember, I'm talking about through 2 years. You keep saying.
Say that then. Say that.
I've already said it 20 times, homie. I don't know why you don't get that.
Be specific. Nah, you ain't said that no 20 times.
No,
homie.
I said her skill set's better already.
I said that, homie. I said her bag is bigger. Have I not said that 1,000 times?
Yeah, but I said her skill set right now is already better.
Her bag is bigger. We're saying the same thing.
No. Her skill set is already better. Now, is she overall better player? No, not yet. But at the same age, she's by far better.
By far, but why are we arguing?
By far. By far,
but why are we arguing?
By far. It's not even close. And by the
you
way,
don't even watch Caitlin Clark. There's not one game that comes to your memory right now.
And by the way,
Clark, other than when her and Reese did the whole little thing. Be honest on this show. When the last time you watched a Caitlin Clark game? Do not lie. Do not lie.
I don't watch her.
Okay, then. So you speak on something you don't know
about. I watched her in college, Smitty. That's what we're talking about, homie.
In college.
Here's the thing. This is what I'm saying right now, though.
You're a liar.
This girl right here is a girl. She looks like a fucking female, too. Put together, looks like a real female. She's fucking beautiful. She's not some fucking half boy, half girl looking motherfucker. She's actually a female, homie. That's the other part about it. That's the other part about it, homie. That's what I love. Shout out to Juju for looking like a fucking real woman. Looking like a real woman. Looking like a real woman. That's what I like.
One woman to try to
I like a real woman. I like a real woman. I like a real woman.
These are two of the greats.
I like a real woman.
We're at a point now where the WNBA and women's basketball in general
I like a real woman.
At an all-time high. We have so many big-time names.
Female
whether
sport.
it's in WNBA with Breonna Stewart, Caitlin Clark, Aja Wilson, obviously the best player in the world right now. We got Juju Watkins in college. We got all these. We got Cameron Brink in WNBA.
Save girl sports.
Save girl sports. We're at a point where it's all-time
real woman
all across the board.
Fine. Shout out to real women. Save girls.
All the women out here
make
hooping
girls again. Make girls again on sports, homie. Make girls again. Not look like boys to be girls. Anyway, let's move on amicably. Because I'm cooking you right now. UNLV.
We got next on. We got one more topic before we go to commercial break. So stay on your P's and Q's.
Nah, we got whatever we want. UNLV, Smitty, as we mentioned on this show yesterday, Shaun King asked a real question, not like you. He asked a real question and said, would you come to UNLV and coach? And then a couple hours later, bow, got the head job. We broke the news right here.
That's kind of crazy, homie. Like, what was his answer at the time?
Damn, I don't know if we got the clip, but
like, just summarize it. You remember
he basically just said, like, man, it would be I'm not against it. Woo, woo, woo. Right. I'd pull up, Shaun. So, like, that's kind of what
our show is the reason he got the interview.
Well, we're a news breaking show.
Okay.
Because I got this. When I had this on and I asked him those questions, but then when I took it off, nothing I said mattered.
Okay.
But when I wore this, the badge, homie, he broke news on this show because we're literally a journalistic show when I have this on.
Gotcha. Okay.
But anytime I take this off, I'm shit.
That's a horrible bit, by the way. And you know, people don't, as they come on the show and they're new, if they didn't watch that one episode, they have no idea what you're talking about, what you're doing. I suggested your calls that you stop doing it, but you do what you want. Horrible bit.
It's credential. It's not a bit. Shout out to Pac-Man Jones, goes on Breakfast Club, says he's a Trumper. Let's dive into
so random, man. You really got ADHD for real. I know you do.
What do you mean? I do have ADHD.
I know. Like, yeah. I can see it. I think I probably got it a little bit. I've never been diagnosed. I probably got it a little bit. But you
have like you got like some sort of like optimistic ADHD. It's like super happy, and you know what I mean?
Why y'all mad not trying to be happy? That's a weird thing to me.
We're gonna do a Smitty Says So, because you have some breaking news here about a kid I know since he was young. And you think he's turned the leaf over and become something, and I'm gonna fight you on it. But make me small. Pause on the side over here, and let Smitty go in on this because I'm curious to hear him.
Yes, man. So, friend of our show, man, one of the best young QBs in the game right now, CJ Stroud, says he has been struggling with his cursing and wants to eliminate cursing from his vocabulary. He said, and I quote, "I can't proclaim I love God and have a wild mouth. It's hypocritical." Shout out to CJ Stroud, man. I saw that, and it was really like, I had a moment to myself. I'm like, man, this young brother is right. I've came on this show multiple times and said that I'm not going to cuss, but then JB provokes me, and I go back to just cussing and cussing and cursing. It's like, dang, every day I tweet out, God is great. I've been doing that for, probably since freshman year of Ball State. Pretty much every day. I missed a couple days by mistake, but almost every single day I put out, God is great. Grew up in a church, you know what I'm saying? My mom, my grandma raised me in the church. And again, we're all hypocrites to some extent. We're not going to be just perfect. But control what you can't control. And cursing is something that we all can control, and it's not necessary. It's a lot of times it kind of makes you come off as ignorant, you know what I'm saying? Because you have to lean on those words so much because you don't have other words to say, because you don't have the knowledge and the vocabulary to use other words. And the thing is, a lot of us, we know how to not cuss, because half the time you have any type of respect. If you're around your mother, your grandmother, if you're at work and you're around your boss, you don't use those words. So that means your brain is trained and knows how to avoid cussing when necessary. But then when you get around another group, you get around JB or your other homies, then you want to be loose lipped. So I saw that, CJ Stroud, and I'm actually going to hop on the challenge and try to stop cursing as well. It might take a little bit of time. I'm sure I might slip up here and there, but I'm going to take on the same challenge as my guy, CJ Stroud, God-fearing man, and try not to cuss starting today. So shout out to CJ, man. We're going to get you on the show one day. I ain't seen you since, last year, All-Star Weekend, but we're going to try to get you on the show. And I respect that young man for always proclaiming what he believes in and honoring God above all things. That's all I got, homie, because Smitty said so.
He forgot the segment name. Make sure he got the tagline in. You sounded fake as shit on that whole rant. It sounded bad. I felt embarrassed for you. It sounded so fake that you were trying to do something that you're not, and that's not what the Bible says. The Bible talks about cursing someone, and then guess what happened? We peasants down here took the words from the book and thought that cursing someone meant curse words, and there's a huge difference, people. I'm sorry to break this down to you all. I'm sorry that I know more about the Bible than you. I'm sorry that I know more about the Bible than most of you in this chat, even though y'all don't think you think I'm like the devil. Too bad I know more than all of you. And you guys don't realize that a curse being put on someone is not a curse word, but y'all took it as then you made this curse word thing come out like this is a curse on you. No, it's not. That's why the curse word was changed to the word cuss.
I mean, everything you're saying sound cool and all that stuff.
Homie, I should really teach a class, homie. I think I should teach a class.
You get something sound good. I mean, it's true. Number one. Number two, we're not saying that literally just saying
look it up, though, homie.
The B word, whatever.
Don't start lying because I know more. Don't stop lying, homie.
It ain't that deep.
Don't start making you sound better, homie. Hold on, homie. I just gave you your time. I just gave you your time, homie. Don't start changing up the narrative, homie. Don't start changing up the narrative because I cooked your motherfucking ass because you think cussing is a bad thing and because the Bible said it is. No, it don't. You're lying to yourself. Y'all don't know what the book really says, D. Jones.
If God, let me ask you a question. If God was right,
It's not a curse word, homie. Stop.
If God was right in front of you right now, physically, because He's there,
Stop.
but physically, if God, no, let me ask you a question. If Jesus was right in
Stop.
front of you physically right now, y'all having a conversation, would you talk the exact same? Yes or no? Don't lie.
Yes, because He knows who I am.
Fact.
He knows my soul, motherfucker.
Fact.
He knows
Fact.
your soul,
Fact,
homie. You know what He'd do to
homie,
you?
you're a liar.
You know what happened to you?
You're a liar.
You would turn to dust, homie. He would take you off this planet. You know why? Because He said you're being something you're not. He's saying you're not being wholesome to yourself and true to yourself. He's saying you're being someone you're not.
Oh, really? Really? So, okay. So let's get deep then. No, let's get deep
genuine,
then.
homie. I am genuine, homie.
Let's get deep then. No,
homie.
So
That's
you should always be who you are, right? Is what you're saying. So a serial killer thinks what they're doing is right. So your serial killer stay true to yourself and can keep killing, right? If you're a molester, stay true to yourself, like keep molesting.
Now
right?
you're saying
no,
dumb
it's the same thing, homie.
Now you're saying dumb shit.
True to yourself.
Why are you saying dumb, stupid shit now? Now you're saying dumb shit. See, that's what happens.
Growth and getting better.
Micro thinkers.
Yeah, my face when you talking to me.
Micro thinkers go right to that when they get cooked. And that's what they do because they have no rebuttal. You have no rebuttal, homie. You can't fuck with me, homie. I've lived almost 2 times your age, and you got a long way to go.
I know a lot of old dumb homies.
You got a long way to go, homie. You don't even know how to change the fucking brakes on your car yet. You got a long way to go, son.
Somebody to do it, homie. I got money, homie.
Son, you got a long way to go, son. You got a long way to go. You got a long way to go to catch me, son.
You making an excuse. Don't call me son. You white. You making an excuse of not to grow and get better.
So Jesus,
that's
Jesus
all I
white
hear.
too. Jesus
that's
white.
all I hear. You're making
Jesus
an excuse not to grow and get better. That's all I hear.
Can you admit to everybody that you got cooked?
No, I didn't, homie.
Why are you trying to flip the narrative, homie? The word was curse.
I'm giving you an example. I'm saying it's
you
a
said that you was gonna
homie.
stop. You said here's what you said. I'm gonna try to be better and stop. It may take some time. Blah blah blah. You sound fake, homie. You sound fake, homie. Like bottom line is, God came down here right now. He'd be like, why are you trying to fake the funk? Be yourself. Be true to your soul. I know who you are.
Growth, homie.
If I'm God, let me play God. I'm gonna play God.
Me cursing ain't being true to myself. I don't need to curse.
I'm gonna play God. I'm gonna play God. I'm gonna play God. I'm gonna play God.
Up on just over the years. I don't need to.
I'm gonna play God. I'm gonna play God for you. Here's the real. That's what God would do to you.
You can't play God at all. You're the last person I want to play God.
See, that's what you're wrong at, though.
You don't know how to play. You don't know how to play.
That's what's wrong with you. That's what's wrong with you. You judging me right now, but says don't judge.
I'll judge you.
God damn, cooking you. So here's the bottom line. If I was God and came down, I'd be like this. Smitty, I know your soul. You're a great human being with great high character, high integrity. You are trying to fake something that you're not right now, though. You could cuss. It's okay. You're not cursing anyone. You're just using a few cuss words. What the man created. But the Bible said curse is something I put on your soul, not words in your mouth.
God also said there's power of the tongue. Why did he say that? God also said there's power in the tongue. You said
because power in the tongue.
You want to be a Bible thumper, so that means what you
power
say
in the tongue.
and the words that you speak out.
Power in the tongue.
There's truth, there's life, and there's death of the tongue.
Yeah, I taught you that.
So what you say is also important as well, homie. Yeah, you do that. Then don't do it then. So that means what you say and what
has nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with it, Darnell.
Homie,
has nothing to do with Darnell.
You was at a job in the office. If you were talking to a grandmother, a grandfather, a parent, if you have any sort of level of respect, some of y'all white people don't, some of y'all black people don't, some of y'all other people don't. If you have any level of respect when you're talking to certain authority figures, you don't cuss. Why don't you cuss, homie? If it ain't a big deal. Let me ask y'all that. Now, again, some of y'all might cuss in front of y'all mama and grandma and y'all don't care. I'm not speaking to y'all. Y'all grew up differently. All I know is the people who I grew up with, we don't do that type of stuff in front of those people. Why? It's a respect level. So if we do that in front of them, that means we are consciously in our minds knowing that these words are not appropriate to be saying. But we say it in front of other people who we don't deem or give the same level of respect to. Homie, that's the fact.
So power in the tongue means I can put death on your life just as I can put life on your death. Something I've taught you on the show. And the truth of the matter is that's the power of the tongue. The power of the tongue is speaking truth into your existence, not negativity on your soul. It has nothing to do with curse words, homie. Stop. Stop using the Bible to manipulate what you think it means and
literally what
change
you're doing the
everything
whole
what it is.
time.
That's not what the power of the tongue means, homie. Hey, Vince, why don't you teach this young man right here what it means, please? Like, it has nothing to do with it, homie. It is putting power of the life on your soul, meaning I put life on your death, not death on your life, homie. It has nothing to do with the power of the tongue cussing, homie. Stop making that shit about cuss words, homie. You sounding crazy right now. It has nothing to do with it, homie. I'm going to be me. I cuss in front of my mama. Because guess you know why? She know I love her. She know I love her. She know I love her.
Ain't about love. It's just disrespectful in my opinion.
Why is that disrespectful?
Well,
why
white people do that. I'm gonna be real.
Why is it disrespectful?
This is a race thing. That's a white people stuff right there. Black people don't do that. We don't. That's
so what? So what do y'all do though?
What are you talking about?
How is it disrespectful for white folks, but black folks can go out and kill each other and it's okay? That's not a sin, homie.
Hold on, homie.
Everybody, homie, miss me with your bullshit.
Nah, because now you're going too far. Killing ain't
no, not, motherfucker. I ain't going too far, motherfucker. You just said white people,
white folks
motherfucker.
kill, black folks kill, Mexicans kill, Asians kill.
Hold on,
every
homie.
race kills.
Hold on, though.
Don't
why did you say white folks, though, motherfucker? Why? Hold on, though. You said white people, motherfucker. Don't act like you didn't say that shit.
I know.
See what your fake-ass fucking narrative, homie. You sound phony and fake, homie. You sound phony and fake when you try to bring up race, homie. No, you don't, homie. Because half your mouth sounds fake, and the other half of you sounds ignorant. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Ignorant and disrespectful.
So,
you think
bottom line is,
you gonna teach your kids
go back, homie. Go back though. Go back to what you said, homie. Don't miss. Yeah. Don't change it now that you didn't say white folks are disrespectful, motherfucker. Don't act like you didn't say that shit, Mr. Racist. Mr. Racist. Mr. Racist. Remember, homie, I can go to every hood. Remember, I can go to every hood. Guess what? You won't even go to Chicago around black folks, homie, because y'all motherfuckers murdering each other. But you're talking about white folks killing me? I'm going to kill you with the white folks, homie?
I go anywhere, homie.
Me. You sound ignorant. And when you bring up race, homie, be careful, homie, because it come back to you too, partner.
That's cool, partner. Like I said before,
motherfucker. Don't act like you the smart one. Don't act like you
in a black household. No,
white boys sound disrespectful. White boys sound disrespectful. White boys sound disrespectful because I cuss in front of my mama, motherfucker.
That's disrespectful.
Fuck out of here.
It is.
Hey, what's the Bible say?
Don't judge. So I don't care.
Don't judge. But here's this motherfucker judging.
I can tell you didn't really grow up in the church, and I can tell you ain't been.
I didn't grow up in the church. Who said I grew up in the church?
You ain't open the Bible and.
Wait up.
And that's fine. That's okay.
But who said I grew up in a church? You lying again, homie. Who said I grew up in a church? When did I say I grew up in a church?
I can say you did it. That's what I said.
Oh, no. So what? Listen. I never said I did, though. You don't say that. I told you. You don't say that unless I told you I did, homie.
That's like me speaking on coaching. I didn't coach.
Stop.
I don't.
You using it now. You smart. You're very smart, Darnell. You're very smart in how you manipulate shit. You manipulate words. You don't say I can tell you grew up somewhere unless I said that. I never said I grew up in a church. So you're making yourself look better than you really are.
You're using stuff from the Bible as if you have full knowledge of that thing, as if you grew up in something.
But have I told one lie?
The Jewish community, I have no knowledge about the Jewish community. So
have I told a lie?
Don't use popular lines that you
have heard I told a lie though?
Heard your homie say.
But I'm asking you, have I told a lie?
And act like you know it is. I actually literally grew up in the church every single
But have I told a lie?
Kids grew up in the church.
That's all I know. Have I told a lie? That's all I'm asking you. Have I told a lie about what I mentioned about the Bible though today?
You ain't saying nothing. You just saying one line and then trying to use that to like.
But what's a lie though? You can't answer me.
Jesus turned water into wine. I can get
you can't answer me.
That's what you're doing.
I mean, you got cooked so bad. You got cooked so bad. You went to race. You got cooked so bad. You turned it into race. You got cooked so bad by the Bible. You turned it into race, homie.
I didn't get cooked at all, homie. I didn't get cooked at all, homie. I'm just telling you, the white folks that I grew up around are the ones that cuss in front of their parents.
Because we cuss. Because we cuss.
Don't cuss in front of their parents. I'm just saying that's what it is, homie.
You must have grew up somewhere different than me.
Yeah,
I know a lot of black folks that cuss in front of their parents. I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Okay, I hear you, homie.
JB cuss in front of his mama. He bad.
I ain't say he's a bad person. Now you get all emotional. When JB get like emotional, he get real loud and start screaming.
Who emotional?
We
I
two
know,
men have a conversation. I'm giving my opinion.
None of your boys.
It don't mean you a bad person. It don't mean you evil. I didn't call you the devil. I said to me it's disrespectful.
Hold on,
for a kid to curse in front of their parents. That's all.
You made it right. You made it about
as a kid.
See, Smitty could throw in a little white boy race take, but then when I say it, I'm racist. That's what the funny part is. He's saying, "Oh, white boy's disrespectful." Motherfucker, please. You don't know no brothers that cuss in front of their parent. Get the fuck out of here.
Nothing is everything. Everything is nothing. So sure, are there some black people floating around that probably cuss? Sure, there's examples of every.
But why didn't say that?
Let's be real between you and I.
But why you didn't say that?
Majority of black households, black kids ain't just cussing in front of their parents. That's not a.
But why you didn't say that?
We have a segment on here: BPS, WPS. Where do we pull that from? Because we know what stuff is. Okay, so don't try to act funny now.
Hold on, but why didn't you say that though?
We don't do that.
But why didn't you say that though? That's what I'm asking.
Why did I say what?
That both white and black folks are disrespectful.
Because what I'm trying to tell you is that there's examples of everything. Is what I'm trying to say. But
you only said white.
There's certain stuff that's more tied.
You only said white boys are so disrespectful.
More tied to the other side.
But you only said white people are so disrespectful. That's what you said though. I'm just saying what you said, homie.
Hey, y'all, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we got Stephen Kim.
Smitty got to take a breather and recoup because he get cooked right now like a... Oh my
I'm so glad I'm back. I'm bringing some more.
JB know the Bible. How does JB know the Bible? He cuss like crazy and drink and smoke cigars. How does he know the Bible? You don't need to not know the Bible. And disrespects
women, too. I'm back at 5, homie.
Timothy Reynolds, shut the fuck up. Fucking bitch. Yeah, I cuss. Right out the Bible, motherfucker. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Who else entered the portal, everyone? Shaka Khan, or whatever the fuck his name is. This motherfucker entered the portal. The combination of DJ Khaled and fucking Drake. That's who this fucking guy is. He enters the portal, and he's going to follow the coach. Can we just say a joke is a joke, and the gig is up? Let's just call it what it is. The gig is up, dog. Let's just say it's a joke. We've been fucking with you guys. Hey, guys, we've been fucking around with you. We just tried it out for a few years. We're fucking with you. This guy getting $100K. This cat's getting $100 grand, homie, to go follow his coach. Look at this fucking wobble body. Looks like a fucking fat bumblebee walking around pocketing $100K. To fucking do what? Wear a fucking radio out? Does anyone understand the mockery of this? Seriously, thank you, Alan. Alan in the chat. Thank you for saying exactly what I was about to say. Thank you. Thank you for saying exactly what I was going to say. This is an absolute fucking slap in the face of anybody who works at going to school to get a fucking education and a degree. And all the workers that work there. Do you think the fucking janitor at McNeese State makes 100 large? But Amir Khalid Kalalala can hang a fucking radio around his neck and make 100K NIL money? Are you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? This is an absolute mockery. And you think this is NIL? This is what NIL was made for. Now, can we all agree that this is a mockery? this kid earned an NIL bag. Seriously. And we got, by the way, let's go down the list here at McNeese State. Do you think players 8, 9, 10, 11 are getting a 100K NIL bag? From the 6th roster spot on, do you think they're even close? I would argue that the top 5 aren't even all getting $100,000. Do you think 6 through 12 is getting $100K that sit on the roster, sit on that bench to play for that team? And then I got to go over here and look at Amir wearing a fucking radio around his neck, and he gets $100K, and then he gets to go with this coach and follow him and get another bag? They are employees. They are now grown, and now stop saying they're 17. I love how you both use, they're just kids, JB. And then when they get cussed out, I'm a grown-ass man. Don't talk to me like that. I love how you motherfuckers say that shit. I love how you motherfuckers actually say that shit. I want to be honest with you guys. The audacity of people out here in the world. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to stay mostly on social media, but I'm going to even say some of you in the chat and the people out here who think this way. The audacity of a lot of you out here who blame me for reacting the way I do to half of you and half of everybody on social media. The audacity of all you out there who blame me how I react. What do you mean the audacity of who they blame? You motherfuckers have the gall and the audacity blows my fucking mind on some of you out here. And a lot of you motherfuckers will talk shit to me about my reaction to your post, to your comments. The audacity of you talking about me, and then you're quick to cancel a motherfucker and say, did you see JB's comment about that made-up human who walked in the girl's bathroom and whipped out his dick and took a piss? Did you see JB's comment when the little 7-year-old was in there and was like, Mommy, what is that? And then the mom covers her eyes and walks her out of the bathroom? And then you're trying to cancel me because I drugged that weirdo fuck out of the bathroom? Which I just had to do the other day, by the way. Lucky that wasn't on film. We are back in the building. Smitty must be taking shit, moving his car, and making a Starbucks run or something. He'll be back here in a second. Man, I don't know if Bailey has it in. Let's bring our main man in, though, man, before we get back to it, because I want to talk about Cain Vasquez here in a minute. The MMA fighter who got sentenced to 5 years. Smitty.
That was a couple years ago. I think he's already served 3 years. That's still a good story to talk about, though. I saw it on social.
Yeah. I thought he's been out, though. I thought he's been fighting it.
Is he?
I don't know. I could be wrong. All I know is that's why we're fucking divided. I'm going to tell you right now. Motherfucker touches my kid, you might as well put me in jail forever. I don't understand why
you
we're
see the video of him like actually like chasing him down like in the car.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Like busting at him and everything. Yeah.
And I think you and I would do the same.
Yeah, 100%. It's a kid.
You know what the problem is? That's why it's the racial divide in this country is so fucked up. It's worse than it was when I was a kid, which sounds crazy, but it's true. You can't even argue and talk about race. And then you get the whole chat. Half's on this side, half's on this side. I'm a chameleon, y'all. I don't think you realize it, and it's okay. But I'm not changing for who I am. I'm still a white boy. I just happen to be from the hood. And the problem is, the difference is the ones that don't know me, that's fine. Y'all can talk all this shit and say what you do, but you won't run up on me. And number two, the ones that do know me, this is why I do what I do. It's laughable. Like, my boys are laughing in the back right now, and that's the problem. But it's okay, though. See, we used to be able to have these conversations. Now you motherfuckers are so fucked up in your head that you think that you got to be white, you got to be black. Like, it's fucking crazy, homie. I don't get it. Guess what? If I smoke your ass, guess what? You bleed. Red. Anyway, I'm wearing red, too, by the way, Smitty.
You know, blood is what color is blood before it hits oxygen?
Flu. Let's dive into the show. We got a special guest joining us. The Korean co-cell himself, the co-host of Whitlock's Fearless. Haven't seen Steven. It seems like so long. We've had so many guests on now because it's the realest show on planet Earth. Even came up another step up, and we still talk about race and the real shit, the Bible. JB's a pastor on the side, and we can talk about all other shit on the realest show. But the Korean co-cell, know of all things, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Gems, joins us. Steve Kim to give us some.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, man. Good morning. Glad to have you on. We had your boy on, Al Bernstein. I don't even want to say nothing. Al Bernstein joined us yesterday. I think you had Lampley on. I think we may be able to get him as well. I know that's a good friend of yours. I don't know if you saw the Al Bernstein take, but where you at with George Foreman? Just your impression of him growing up watching that guy fight, just like I did.
Well, I mean, I got to really see the second act of his career in life, and if you look at the two careers and you put them together as one, it's really remarkable to be able to win the heavyweight title, the linear recognized championship, 21 years apart. He won it in 73, and then he won it in 94. I don't think that'll ever be done again. I mean, we're talking about a guy that fought Ali, Norton, and Frazier, and then he ended up fighting Holyfield, Tommy Morrison, and Michael Moore. I mean, I used this analogy yesterday on Fearless. That's like if you're a basketball center saying, hey, yeah, well, I played against Chamberlain, Russell, Willis Reed, and then later on I played against Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing and Brad Doherty. I'm just really think about that. And it's a remarkable career. And I got to see the second part, which was really interesting because in the beginning, the first 3 years, nobody took this seriously. Everyone thought it was kind of a novelty act. George is raising funds for his church. He probably needed money. It wasn't really till about 3 years in. It was in 1990 when he knocked out Jerry Cooney, who was in really good shape, and Jerry thought he was going to rehabilitate himself. When we got him out of there in 2 rounds, it was at that point people said, okay, this might be more serious than we thought. And I think a fight or two later, he fought a top 10 guy by the name of Adelson Rodriguez on HBO. I think it was the opening bout for some other one. He got him out of there in 2 or 3. And at that point, everyone said, okay, this is pretty legitimate.
Wow.
Hey, Steve, before Smitty dives in, I just want to recap from yesterday. How good was that fight between him and Ron Lyle?
Greatest heavyweight slugfest ever.
Damn, I didn't know that. I'm not a fighting guy. You and Smitty know more, and Shaun King knew right away.
I've never seen that one, though. I got to go back and watch it.
It's like a longer, more violent version of Hagler Hearns because it has knockdowns. I still think the greatest pure heavyweight fight ever, because it went longer, was Frazier Ali, the third one, the Thrilla in Manila. But if someone said, Steve, I prefer Foreman Lyle because it was an absolute pure sick shootout, I wouldn't disagree. Both guys got knocked out. I think at least twice each guy looked like they were going to just tap out. Foreman, it's interesting about Foreman. He didn't have great stamina in his first career, but he had unbelievable recuperative powers. And that's exactly what he showed against Ron Lyle, who's generally considered, I would say, among the top 10 heavyweight punchers of all time.
What's the name of the defensive style that George Foreman used? That's
the cross defense. That's kind of the Archie Moore defense. See, he had a lot of respect. Archie Moore actually helped George Foreman. That's a man that he really listened to. That's the cross arm defense.
I feel like that's a rare defense. I don't see that really.
Yeah, not many guys do that. There's certain things. You better have a good chin because you're going to get touched.
Right.
Because you're not giving a great barrier. Guys are going to be able to come right through the front door. But George in his second life, the reincarnation, the older version, I thought was much better at breathing inside the ring. He had better stamina. more of a thinking man's fighter, knew how to set guys up because he understood he didn't have 3 rounds or 3 minutes of energy. He knew how to kind of make every round use 15 seconds here, 15 seconds here, set a guy up for here. Like even the Moorer fight, if you watch the legendary Nights, you really see how it wasn't just a punch. He had kind of been setting that thing up the whole time, corralling him to the right side to get him on his right-hand side. And Moore, the whole night, kept moving towards his right instead of his left. And so at that point, he's just kind of coming right into that right hand, and he got popped right in round number 9 or 10, I think it was.
Steve, you wrote a piece on it. Make sure you guys go check it out if you haven't read it. Steve dropped it that night. Were you aware of his ailing health?
No, not really. I mean, it came as a surprise. It was right around 7 o'clock on Friday when I was in a group chat with some boxing people. In fact, JC's the one who broke the news. You know JC. And I went to Twitter, and when Lance Pugmire announced it, I knew it was legitimate. And then the family came out on Big George's Facebook account and announced it, or I think it was Instagram. And according to Thomas Hauser, who was much closer to him than most writers, said for the last year or so, he had been having health issues related to a kidney ailment. So, I mean, look, George wasn't the guy that posted every day. He wasn't really out on social media. And he always seemed to have a youthful, energetic spirit to him. So it did surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, he's what, 76?
76.
Yeah, which isn't, you know, I mean,
Not
it's
too
older,
old.
but it ain't that old.
He was in the heavy bag. Smitty and I,
Last
Steve,
year.
Yeah,
Steve and I were,
exactly. That's the last time I really saw him, so I thought everything
we
was smooth.
showed it on the show. Steve and I were like, "Is this guy still knock you out?" And he was like, "Look at that punch." I mean, like, yeah, if he hits you, 75 years old. I'm like, fuck, it's unbelievable. I don't know.
Yeah.
Smitty, we got some things for Steve, though. I'm curious to get his take on some Miami stuff.
Oh, for sure, man. We got to start off with Cam Ward. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but Cam Ward kind of showed out on his pro day. You know, looked good. He did the triple pass play that JB was talking about that he was in love with. But let me ask you this, Steve, just based upon this, what you're hearing from reports, you know, the pro day, everything, you think Cam Ward is probably the clear favorite to get drafted number 1 by the Titans now?
I think it's a fait accompli now. Coming into this week, he was the presumptive number 1 pick. It seems to me like he wrapped it up. And I don't know how much the pro day had to do with it. I mean, you're throwing in shirts and shorts, and look, you're throwing against air. You should always look good. Whoever drafts him, and I believe it will be Tennessee, first thing I'd work on is the quick game. Start off with that. Make it your foundation. 3 5-step drops. I say, Cam, you don't have to be Steph Curry out here. Just hit the open mid-range jumper. Keep the chains moving. That's the first thing. And then expand the game out. And then you're going to have to surround him with some help. Now, I mean, last year at Miami, he had an NFL-level offensive line. He had a running back that's going to be drafted in the first 3 rounds. He had the best slot receiver in the country, another receiver that'll get drafted, and a tight end that'll probably go in the top 50 to 75 players. So, you know, I've seen quarterbacks come from powerhouse programs, get drafted really high, and suddenly they get to the next level, and it turns out they had more talent in college to work with than they did at the next level. That's one of the drawbacks of being drafted that high.
Yeah.
No doubt.
No, it's definitely tough, man. I told JB earlier, I think he's going number 1. I think JB agrees as well. You said you wouldn't draft number 1 if you were in control of the Titans, but you believe he will go number 1, right?
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. They need so many holes filled, man. I don't think he's a generational QB talent. I just think he's the best in this draft. But who knows? Yeah. We'll see. But Steve, I got to ask you about your wide receiver though. He's all over the news because he ran a slow time, 4.83. He's not the biggest guy. He's 5'10", 200, 209, 210. I don't know what he is, but a little thicker kid. But is that a worrisome issue for a team maybe selecting him?
No, I mean, with X, you know, he's one of those guys. You have to watch the film. He's incredibly productive, back-to-back 1,000-yard years. And look, he's a slot. He was never going to run a 4.3. Now, do I think a 4.8 hurts him? It certainly doesn't help him. But what is being a slot receiver? That means you have to understand coverage. You have to understand when to sit down, when to run through and cross. And he has a very high football IQ. He's built well. He's not going to win a lot of races. but he has an advanced knowledge of the game. He has the ability to create separation in short area spaces. And that's really the key to being a slot receiver. Now, I would love to know what the testing numbers were for guys like Wes Welker, because I think he's a lot like him. Braxton Berrios, I think, was a better athlete testing-wise. He's had an 8-9 year career. But again, are you looking for an American gladiator or a guy that knows how to play football? That's what Restrepo is.
I believe Wes Welker, at least with a quick Google search, they're saying his 40-yard was 4.65.
Yeah.
So
as long as he's twitchy, man, as long as he's like twitchy inside the numbers or inside the hashes, I mean, and he can find the hole and understand coverage, like Steve said, as long as he can do those things, I don't know why it's a big deal.
4.8, JB, though, you've been doing this for a long time. For a receiver, that is pretty dang slow, though. I'm not trying to be like, and I'm not, you know me, I care more about the film than anything. But like 4.8, if I'm him, I wouldn't even ran it. If that's what you think.
Yeah, I think he had to, though, because if he doesn't run it, then it's like, why isn't he running it? I remember Anquan Bolden ran like a 4.7, and he got open a lot. And he was an outside receiver, more or less.
Yeah.
I don't put too much stock in it anymore, Smitty, because in this era, when you ain't hitting nobody no more over the middle and you can't put hands on them like we used to, I don't think it's a big deal anymore. Steve Largent was slow as dirt. We can talk about him all we want. You can show me all the times he got covered because I didn't see him too many. So I mean, there's been guys before him. So I don't think he's the last one either.
That's true.
And he's tough. Restrepo was tough. Once he gets the ball in his hands, he can make a guy miss or two. Look, when you look at Restrepo, I think what hurts him is that, unlike a Berrios, didn't do a lot in the return game. That would have helped him if he would have been a more effective punt returner. He did it early in his career, and they took him off of it. But again, it's hard to beat the production and understand what you're getting. You're not getting an outside receiver. You're getting a pure slot receiver who's going to work really near the hash marks. Hook routes, going to sit down, option routes. But if you're looking for guys to take the top off the defense, that's just not what he does.
And the bottom line, Smitty, let's talk about the guys that came into the combine and ran 4.1. They're fucking garbage.
They're generally the biggest bust.
So I'm just saying, I mean, John Ross, kid I coached in Long Beach, Jordan. I mean, yeah, he didn't do anything. And listen, we've had fast guys forever that we've all been enamored with in the combine, and they don't do anything. So it is what it is. I don't think this kid's going to do anything either, but that doesn't mean his career is dead. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think his career, I think he'll
I will
still be
say
all
one
right.
thing about Restrepo. For some reason, on the 7-on-7 South Florida circuit, everyone doubted him. Then when he got to Miami, everyone doubted him.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know why. I wonder why people doubt him. Anyway.
He may have that it factor, you know what I'm saying? To where so the numbers may not show it, pro day might not show it, but he just has that thing that you can't coach. Those intangibles that.
But I'm gonna be honest. I think if we're gonna be honest, and we call up, and if I call Ryan Clark right now, I want to hear his take on it. But I'm curious to hear. He's a white boy that ran a 4.8. I would pretty much guarantee he falls.
Well, I mean, how far does he fall? No one had him in the first round. I think the question is, how high would he go into the third day?
Yeah.
You know, I think the 4 keeps him out of round 2. The question is, now look, I'm Tennessee and I take Cam Ward number 1, and I'm sitting there on the third day.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make my quarterback comfortable and have a familiar face. X might mark the spot.
Woo-wee.
I want to get my pro shuttle because I think my shit look faster than that one. But we're gonna find out.
You got the video somewhere on me?
I might find one, dog. I might find one. So
I didn't do a pro day because I got hurt, but I think I was definitely faster than this. But it's all good. Shout out to X. But moving on, man.
You gotta ask him about this.
Yeah, you gotta ask. Maryland's players were asked what makes Kevin Willard a coach worth listening to, and one of his players, Derek Queen's response was interesting. Let's check out this video.
Someone who basketball players listen to, and what has he meant to you guys in the short time he's been with you?
First, he do pay us the money. So we got to listen to him, and we all trust him because he's like a player coach. and then he want nothing but the best for us, and he just he coaches hard. He talked to us other than basketball. He's just always there and just want us to win.
So that I think the freshman, that kid who's talking, he made like the game-winning shot to win the game here. So, but I want to go to you first, JB, on this one because I'm just interested to hear the initial response. He does pay us the money. That's what it's opening line.
Yeah, it's sad, but then Steve's going to tell you something, and I want to hear Steve's take. Yeah,
he's completely honest.
There you go.
He's being blunt as can be, because if he didn't pay or keep his promises, he'd already be in the transfer portal.
There it is.
And that, my friends, is the sad part. That's my point. See what I mean? Steve's correct. He was told the truth. We say, well, at least he's being honest. That's the sad part about it. And the coach is telling you right there that's the deal, man. It's unbelievable. Steve, we've had all these different guests on in this world this last few weeks, and they're all just telling you the head coach is Frank Martin, just like, man, my starting 5 last year who won 20 games are starting in the Sweet 16 this year. Like, it's come on, man. This ain't about NIL. This ain't name, image, and likeness.
Yeah, look. If name, image, and likeness was properly utilized, and it was not just pay for play with collectives acting as individual salary caps for every institution, it'd be fine. If you had a transfer portal where kids still had to sit out a year, it'd be fine. The problem is there's no guardrails in any of this, and what we are getting is full-blown anarchy.
Steve, I got to ask you, Smitty, too, because Smitty wasn't here yesterday when we brought it up, but Cal addressed the media not knowing that the fucking portal opened yesterday while he's getting ready for the Sweet 16. That's a telltale sign. Like, he's like, man, when's it open? Today? Like, he's worried about working. That's the difference between the player and the coach, though, that I always bring up with Smitty. Like, this guy's worried about the Sweet 16, getting his coaches and players ready, getting the staff, the scouting report, blah, 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 the film watched. And now he has to have exit meetings because players are in the portal. And then Scottie Pippen, I got to ask Steve, because he's such a Bulls historian with the Michael Jeffrey Jordan era. Is Scottie broke?
I don't know if he's broke. I know he certainly didn't go broke from tipping very well. But he's probably gone through some issues. I mean, he went through a divorce.
Well, he must be living through his son, because his son entered the portal yesterday while they're in the Sweet 16 in Michigan. So I don't know.
Wow, I didn't even know he had a son that was a Division I player. I know Jason Richardson, he had a son that is now playing for the guy that coached him, Tom H. to the Izzo.
Michigan State,
Michigan made the Sweet 16, Steve, and Pippen's kid enters the portal during the Sweet 16.
But you know what? I don't blame the kid, though. Why are the administrators, they know when the Final Four is. They know when the tournament takes place.
Right.
Have it 4 days after the last game on that Monday. Nothing happens. I know that there's school schedules. If you're on a semester, I get it. But let's be honest. They're not student athletes anymore.
No, it's a joke. It's a joke. The kid, 13 minutes after Vanderbilt loses, enters the portal. 13 minutes, by the way.
He's not procrastinating. I mean, if you're going to move on.
World record.
The fastest transfer of all time.
and I agree with Steve. Like, I'm not gonna blame the kid when you open the portal during this time. The kids only do what they're told to do or led to do or see. They see shit, right? They see shit and they do it. Listen, you open the portal. Why is it open, Steve? Why is it open?
Multi-year contracts.
Just like a coach. By the way, coach is the difference between player and coach. They have a contract, and they got to pay that money back if they leave.
If a player leaves early,
no repercussions.
$750,000 that you already spent.
Yeah, shout out.
Ice and jewelry and your Dodge Charger. Yeah, we'll take that back. That's what a coach does. There's buyouts.
See, I'm not mad at the NIL. I'm not mad at the NIL. I'm mad at the portal. The portal's the devil to me.
Yeah, if you made players sit out a year, many of them would say, nah, we're good.
It's like,
here.
To me, so I agree with you. See, you've been saying it for a long time. I agree with you 1,000% on that. I think that literally solves it, because most players don't want to miss a whole year of just sitting out, not doing anything. Like, so that's if you just add that one rule, I think everything else it just resets everything.
But the
right
problem
now,
is,
there's
Smitty,
nothing that stops them.
But the problem is, it ain't about the school Y and school X telling school A kid to come here. It's the bag of money. Like, if it wasn't a bag of money, if it wasn't a bag of money, though, I don't know.
Smitty, let's say you're the third or fourth cornerback at any college, and you kind of know I'm going to play a nickel set. I'm going to need an injury or two to become a starter. And some school that happens to recruit you 3 years ago, they know who you are, the same coach is there, and they're like, hey, kid, you could start here, and we'll give you an extra $250. Well, I mean, that's a tough deal to turn down. Let's just be honest about it. Last year, Miami had a guy come in from Vanderbilt. He was a safety. His name was Savion Riley, if I recall correctly. Now, he was starting at Vanderbilt as an underclassman. Comes to Miami, and for some reason, it didn't work out. And after spring ball, he's out. And then he goes to Colorado. And I watched a lot of Colorado games. I didn't hear Savion Riley. So you went to 3 schools in 9 months. And here's my view of it. Young man, you were better off going to Vanderbilt and getting a good degree. Vanderbilt's a good school.
Yeah.
It's a very good school. And you were playing there. You were being developed there. They valued you there. Maybe you got more money, but I don't even know where Savion Riley is right now.
Right.
Sometimes you're just, there has to be this mindset that if you get a college scholarship, even if it's not Division I, even if it's not Power 5, you have still made it further than 98% of people that play football. And if you get a degree out of it and you make contacts and sources and networking, you've gotten more out of football than most people ever will. You are a success. But when you are having these handlers and these advisors and family members talking about 3 and out, then the league, the damage you're doing to these kids' psyche. I wonder how many kids actually just like being at a particular school. They don't even mind redshirting. But there's people around them saying, no, we got to get ours. Yours or ours? What if I'm having a great time here? I think what we are creating a generation of kids who are having their college education, whatever that's worth, and experience ruined. I told this to Mike Rumpf, who played in the league, and he's part of the University of Miami football program. So I'm at the team hotel before the Georgia Tech game. We had a really great discussion. And I said, Mike, you got to tell these young men, and you're part of it. And he goes, what's that? He goes, Mike, you were a first-round draft choice. You were done with football by age 28. That's the reality. 99% of you by age 26, even if you make the league, you're done with the game. He had to look like, oh, my God, right? He goes, man, I never thought of it that way. Well, you need to tell every one of these kids this is borrowed time. There are very few Peyton Mannings. There are very few Ray Lewises. It's the reality of this whole thing.
And these kids gotta be real with themselves too. Like, you gotta look yourself in the mirror and just like really understand, like, how good am I really? And just be honest. Like,
no, that's the point.
Like, I knew I was a good player. I was decent, but I knew it was levels. Like, I played in the same time where I was at Ball State when Khalil Mack was at Buffalo. The film looked different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you knew he was going to get paid for this, but you got your education paid for.
Right.
I love when these people talk all this junk about, well, you only played here. And I always ask these folks, where are your scholarship papers?
Right. Hey, I mean, going to college changed my life.
I mean, I think it's funny when people get on, like with Fearless, with TJ Moe, people get on him, probably because he's a white guy who says certain things they don't like. And I say, well, TJ Moe had 1,000-yard season at Mizzou. He played P5 football, had a 1,000-yard year. Let's look at your trading card.
Anybody that plays college football, I don't care, D1, D2, D3, I don't care. If you go through the grind and go through the process, you're going to play against someone. Smitty played against people that are in the NFL. Yeah, I played against people that are in the NFL. Like, that's the 1%er still. We're still in that bracket. Like, that's what people don't get.
Like, when someone says I played in the CFL, man, you are like a 1.5%er. Not everyone makes it. I still think 1%. I hear these kids that are like top 100 recruits. And then, I know a few people. I have pretty good sources. And they say, oh, yeah, this kid's getting really antsy. He's been here 3 months. Yeah, I didn't like to be redshirted. My God, he weighs 220 pounds and he's a defensive end. What the hell? What do you think? And
that's the point Smitty was bringing up right now that I wanted to ask you, because the defense of the kid always, especially on social media, is asinine. When it's well, coach, the portal is not the kid's fault. the portal's open, and that's when you can leave. Why aren't we talking about the fact that the kid chose that school, though, from Jump Street? We don't ever bring that up. We don't ever bring that up.
But, JB, here's the reality. How many kids choose the school for the school and not just the biggest NIL?
No, that's my point, though. Like
it starts from there.
Full circle this, to Smitty's point, I want to ask you this. What if I told you that I'm the new commissioner of the NCAA and you can now call me the non-carrying asshole of America, and I go, there's a one-time transfer rule. You can transfer one time, anytime, but once. That's it. If that was the rule, is that a better situation, Smitty, than sit out a year?
I'd even add another rule, because this is what's happening. Players are putting their names into the portal to leverage their current school to up the money.
Yes.
Okay. So Commissioner Kim would say, here's what I would do. As soon as you put your name in the portal, you can't go back to your old school.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I would do. Is like, if you, I'm just, it's
here's the problem is
games
us,
that are being played.
A shame on the adults. We've already brought it up with the administration and opening this time up and all this, but shame on the adults in the room for accepting the player. Like, for me to accept Smitty from Baylor to my school at Duke is the problem. And I don't understand what happened to the gentleman's agreements in this world that we used to have.
Among thieves, like, Coach.
That's always been true, Steve. But there was a protocol to things because of the circle was so small at one point where we needed you. I needed a Coach K. I needed a Tubby Smith. I needed a Jim Herrig, where I would say, hey, Coach, Steve Kim called me, man, and was interested in checking out our school. I'm just letting you know as a heads up, you got a kid shopping on you. That was a normal thing. Like, I used to do it to my buddies at coaches, that kids would call me all the time, and they would do it to me. The ones that don't do it, though, you start to question, and then you start to lose them as not only friends, but colleagues professionally. So okay, I know what side of the fence you're on. Well, now everybody is out there to get each other. And I'm glad Calipari, to make this point, said yesterday, well, if a kid enters a portal today, he ain't coming back here. That's the guy who stood on business, where we don't have enough of those guys. And guess what? The guy that they don't really get along, but they played, Patino, is the same way. Well, if you enter the portal, you better stay out because you're not coming here. And Frank Martin brought a great up point last Friday when Smitty wasn't here. He said, hey, man, look at the guys in the tournament. We had a guy, Rick Pitino, who's 70. Calipari is 60. We got the guy at Houston we're going to cover here. The play-by-play is on after you. He's going to talk about him. How old? What's his name now at Houston? Got to be 60. Calvin Sampson got to be 60, 65.
60s, early 70s, right?
There ain't no young coaches in here. The young coaches are getting put out. So the old coaches can still simulate and do it like Frank Martin said. Frank Martin said, everyone out there, the young heads are talking about how the old heads can't do it no more. No, they actually can, but you young heads want them out because they're whipping your ass when it comes to X's and O's. You're just getting the bag at these other schools, and you're outbidding these coaches for players, and that's what it really comes down to. Sad.
I want to know in about 5 to 10 years how many kids there's going to be a generation. If there's going to be a generation of kids say, God, I went to 4 schools in 6 years, or 3 schools in 5, and I still don't have my degree, and no one wants to return my calls. Well, yeah, and I'm going to repeat this. I have told some pretty significant Miami boosters, if a kid leaves Miami, okay, he's dead to us. In 5 years, when he calls for a job, the next thing you should do is, hey, buddy, who did you call when you transferred from us? Yeah, call him. Click. That's the game now.
And the crazy part is, like, Shaun Salisbury and I talked about it, 2 old whites, and, you're commies, and you're just the old guy on the hill and all this stuff. And Smitty actually agrees with us a lot of time on this particular subject. So, like, why? I want to have a real conversation. Telling the kids they can't or shouldn't transfer and crying about NIL, commies. That's a comment, right?
Yeah.
When are we going to address the elephant in the room and talk about how soft your fucking generation is out here and why you run from competition so quickly and why your skin is so fucking paper thin because you never faced any adversity in your fucking life? When are you going to tell your kids that, game dog? You fucking pussy. That's the problem. See, we don't fucking face the real talk, and the facts of the matter is we're not teaching these kids nothing but to run. And you wonder why our kids out here are fucking sucking dildos in barracks?
I mean, listen, hey, to that point, though, seriously, Kirby Smart, I'm sure y'all might have talked about it. He had comments recently saying that, players, he said they're offended when you coach them. I think it was the exact quote.
There's something going on at Georgia, Smitty. I think I was surprised when Kirby said that because I have a lot of respect for Kirby.
Yeah.
He should probably run a drag racing team at this point, but when he said these kids are offended by us coaching, I always think of Georgia as one of those schools that still has the leverage to say, hey, we're going to coach you hard here. You're going to get paid well, best resources. You're going to win a lot of games, but there's a price for it.
I want to know, did you see the video, baby? I don't know if you have it again, but have you seen the video of the arrest of all the kids?
Oh, I saw it. Yeah. I think I sent it to you right on Instagram. It was like 30, 14 of them.
Yeah, I already had it. I had it before you, though.
I sent it to you and you laughed after. I was like, oh,
Steve, there literally no music, but this is a cop telling this player. And by the way, that it doesn't stop at the player level, Steve. A fucking coach got arrested for fucking DUI and driving
I
reckless.
have a serious question. Why doesn't Georgia have a team-wide Uber NIL?
I don't know.
Perfect.
There's a coach. Here's the thing.
Every player gets like $500 a month to go wherever they want.
And this ain't by the way, this ain't just Georgia. LSU's had a lot. I know there's other teams in the Southeast Conference that's had a lot of arrests in the car world. But what do I know, Steve? When I came on Whitlock a couple years ago, and when I'm on my own show, and I said, "Damn, you're giving the keys to Lamborghini when they haven't even drove a fucking Prius yet." But I'm the only one that's standing on. Oh, JB, you're a hater. No, because the crazy part is like Shaun King defended it yesterday about the cops and shit, jokingly. But we were like, dude, what happens when your kid's on that road and this dumb fuck drives on campus and By the way, the last kid, Steve, drove a Hellcat through the fucking dorm room. It wasn't it wasn't at the whatever, Smitty. What do you guys call the little gas stations in the Midwest? The little slip and spot. Nah, it's another one. But
he drove it right through the front door. I saw that. Yeah. Literally made it a drive-through.
Look at that shit.
It's a shame. My question though to you though, when does Kurt, like using this example, using Georgia as the example, when does Kirby Smart, when does he actually do something though? Like, and I'm not, maybe he has, but like, at some point, Steve is like, all right, we got 25 DUI cases. At some point,
keys. If you have a big basket, throw me your keys, you son of give me your keys.
I don't think you could do anything. I think, Steve, and I think Smitty, you agree. I think Kirby Smart and Steve, Shaun and I know Kirby. He's done everything possible. I would say that Smitty, there's no way that you don't.
You get DUI, you're suspended 6 games. I'm
no.
Something straightforward.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I would do. But what I mean by I'm not even going there yet. What I'm saying is I think he's had classes and people come in to speak to him and talk about driver's safety. Guarantee you these guys are doing it because they ain't
listening. You know how that is.
No, that's my point. That's my point. Georgia just seems to be, number one, they're Georgia. Number two, they seem to be having more of it. And probably because they have better players. And better players usually are shitbirds. Yeah. I mean, honest. So, hey, by the way, do you see this at fucking Stanford or Vanderbilt?
No, they're not recruiting from the same.
You don't see it at Ball State because we ain't got no NIL money.
Yeah, they don't seem to have the team speed.
We driving Chevy Malibus at Ball State.
Steve, I'm just telling you, I don't know what you do, but there's a common denominator, and it's giving kids keys to cars that they only have dreamt about their entire life. And then they haven't even figured out, oh, shit, this is not a fucking Prius that my mom used to take me to school in? No, it's got 1,000 horsepower. Like, learn how to drive first. Like, this shit is crazy to me. I don't understand.
unfortunately, here's what I think is the only thing that could spur Kirby Smart to really do what Smitty is talking about. A player actually dying in a crash.
Well, somebody has died, but it just
well,
happened.
but it wasn't a player, though. But it was not a player. It was a
what did you, Steve? Put yourself in Kirby's. What do you do though?
That's
like
active though.
Well, what I would do, I'd call for a team meeting, and I'd say, "Everyone drive here. Everyone drive." And then while I'm having a meeting, I'd have secretly, I have those boots put on every one of those cars, and I'd say, "Okay, you're all using Uber. Meeting adjourned." That's it. That's what I would do.
I just
then
don't
everyone
know
hit, then everyone would hit the portal, and I'd have no team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's like taking a cell phone in class, Steve. You can't do it. They'll
That's
sue
what I'm
you.
saying. Suspend, like you make a rule. If you get a DUI, DW, any sort of driving violation, you are automatically suspended X amount of games. I know that seems like crap, but I think as a kid, dang, like at least it makes you think now. Okay, I gotta be smart. There's a punishment. There has to be. There's one thing we learned with all this stuff with NIL, with the portal. For these kids, there has to be some sort of guardrails.
Steve, you and I had a debate. We talked about this kid. Who was the running back, the big time running back that did this and they didn't even suspend him a game?
Oh, Gordon
Ollie Gordon
from Oklahoma State.
See what I'm saying? So like,
he had a terrible year, by the way. Ollie Gordon,
horrible year.
Might as well
be a Heisman candidate first.
And then guess what? And then the mullet job is in debate, is up in the air, and he was about to leave and all that shit because guess what? You sacrificed your integrity for this one kid who didn't even play well for you anyway. You might as well have suspended his ass.
Well, I think Gundy said, "I'm going to punish him by giving him the ball more."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know, Steve.
He's a man.
Steve, are you?
We got two more quick ones.
Yeah, go ahead. I got time here. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, bad. Well, perfect. The next topic here I want to bring up, man, Puka Nacua, who's 23 years old right now. There's a video going around of him saying he wants to retire by 30 years old.
Y'all can have him now. You can have him now.
Know, like when to retire, right? And then like what do you do after?
I want to retire at the age of 30. I'm 23 right now. I'm going into year 3. I think of Aaron Donald like, man, like to go out at the top, I think it would be super cool, but then also be like, yo, like I want to have a big family. Just like I want to have at least a starting 5. I'm like, I came from a big family. So I'm like,
he want 5.
I need 5 boys. I need 5 boys for sure.
That's cool.
This is an ongoing trend. Didn't Patrick Willis at year 7 said, "I'm done"?
Yep.
So I think more and more players are thinking, look, I don't need a 15-year career. Before I get CTE or any other long-term injuries, I like to be able to walk at 40 with my kids. So I don't look, if he puts in 7 more years,
that's 10-year career, right?
That's a full decade. It's a full decade, coach. That's a real career.
And then you know what we see, we don't put into like the conversation of that's 10 years in the NFL. He's been playing football since he was probably 8 years old. So it's like, you know, all the wear and tear on the ball, like that's a long time. And if you're able to, you know, be successful, win a Super Bowl maybe within that time frame, break a few records, get a 10-year career, have enough money to set yourself and your family up, what's the problem, JB?
Y'all can have him now.
What?
Come on, you didn't say it's a Barry Sanders. Retired.
The guy's a good character guy, incredibly productive, and you're worried about what he might do in 7 years in a league that is week to week. Really?
Smitty, you know what I mean, Smitty. Y'all can have him now.
I want him on the black team. That's fine.
Steve, what I mean was I had him on the white team.
Right. We'll have him for 7 more years. I mean,
I don't want not knowing I'm gonna lose him in 7. The black team can have him now.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We accept.
The guy wants to put in a good, honest decade, and you just put him on waivers. Wow.
Steve.
Yes. JB, yes. Chappelle show.
Steve, we're just.
You know how rare it is for Jerry Rice to play 20 years?
Yeah, I just can't fathom. I can't fathom this.
I don't know, JB. So you had a problem when Barry Sanders retired, huh? And when Calvin Johnson retired, you had a problem with that.
Played running back, totally different.
I'm asking you a question.
No, not at the time. How long did he play?
Let's see, his rookie year was 89, retired after 98. He put in a decade.
Him and Eddie George both. Because Eddie and Robert Smith, by the way, Robert Smith as well.
Retired early. He had to go to medical school. He was a real student. Robert actually wanted to get on with the next portion of his life.
Besides Barry, though, those other two were long got hit.
Yeah, but I don't think Robert did not play a full decade, though.
No, he didn't play at all. Close.
Robert is a guy that could have gone to college without football. There's a famous story that he actually he was at Ohio State, and they're doing bed checks. And he said, I'm not turning off my light. I'm actually studying here. And he got into an argument. He said, oh, hold on. I'm going to get my degree. I'm actually studying. And it became like a thing. And I think he ended up quitting or leaving Ohio State. But he had a point saying, hey, if I actually want to study, don't make me turn off the light here. And that's a guy that could have gone to school with or without football. He's kind of the rarity of this whole thing.
And I think he was getting concussions or something. But
right. Well, he understood, though. Like, hey, look, if I want to be a doctor or whatever I do the rest of my life, I'd like to be able to remember it 15 minutes later. I get that.
No doubt.
100%.
A decade, coach. A decade.
That's a long time, man.
That's a good career.
My boy Sheldon's going to year 10 right now. It's a long time playing NFL.
The difference between Sheldon and these other guys, though, he wants to play.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, I mean, and that's why the white delegation would take Sheldon. Steve, last thing, Cain Velasquez, this MMA cat has been found guilty of his charges and has been sentenced to 5 years in prison for attempted murder and additional gun assault charges from the March 22 stemming from his son, who was allegedly groped and assaulted by a family member. If you remember the story, this is what's wrong with America right here, man. This is the problem. Like, this guy chased down a guy, and every one of us would do the same. I don't know, man. I have a problem with it, but go ahead, Smitty.
Nah, I mean, you hit the nail right on the head. I got a problem with it too, and I get that there's certain laws and all that stuff, and you can't be. You guys saw the video. He's literally chasing them down in the car, shooting at the car. I think he actually hit the stepfather who was in the car, and not the actual guy he was trying to hit. So listen, I understand, like, technically speaking, we should not be doing that. But I feel like there has to be some sort of like stipulation when it comes to our laws where, like, in certain cases, we got to have some common sense. If somebody touches my kid, my little sister, something like that in any way, come on, I'm losing it. We all, as men, we're all losing it. Like,
Smitty, the problem is, homie, it's here in California. I consider the greatest state in the union, but not politics-wise. This is going to affect us. This is a problem. You saw every single Democrat in the state just voted for boys to be able to play girls in sports. Every fucking one of them. And then we have this problem where you can't walk into a home. You can walk into someone's home, shoot, rob, pillage, whatever, and you can't shoot them till they leave. And now you wonder why this guy got sentenced to jail for defending his own kid from getting touched. Like, this is a California problem. I bet you this wouldn't have happened in Texas, Georgia, somewhere else. This is when, if Governor Newsom wants to actually say, you know what, I'm a humane individual, I would pardon his ass, which he has the power to do, if I'm not mistaken, Steve. Pardon his ass as the governor. You can do it. And you know Trump will pardon him.
I'm just going to leave it like this. Elections have consequences. Understand who the power is in this state, who you are empowering. And so, again, I'm not saying you have to be conservative and vote Republican. I'm just saying, for the good of America, I would never vote Democrat. God bless this great country.
And I don't know the truth. Smitty brought it up to start the show. Like, I don't know if he served time already, but I think they gave him time served, which is a California. That's one good thing about California. They actually do time served more than most states. True time. California will give people time served. So,
from what I read, I think he said he spent nearly like 1 year locked up following the incident, and then he had about 2 years on house arrest with an ankle monitor. So I don't know how that's going to go into play with this. But yeah, that's what I read. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Hey, by the way, have you guys, hey, Coach, did you see that video I sent you of that guy that took his son to the prom? Wow. God. Not a proud day for the Democrats.
On Twitter?
I know what Steve's talking about.
The purple people.
I scrolled past it because I didn't want to. I scrolled past it quickly though. Yeah.
You talking about Magic, son?
No, we're not talking about Magic, son. No.
Stop.
Talking about the prom, you know. Anyway, guys.
Steve, guess what, though, Steve? Guess what, Steve? You're going to have more purple people eaters like that when you have a guy like Magic and his son and a guy like Dwayne Wade and his son on the pedestal of the biggest platforms. Guess who's looking at them? Oh, the young kids, and say, oh, I want to be like them.
I mean, when that father walked up, it was like, oh, my God, bro.
Steve, what happened to I want to be like Mike, not I want to be like Dyke?
Don't mess up that makeup, Gavin.
Look down, let him cry. Oh, he's crying. Oh my God. Oh, you made him cry. Wait, let's let him.
Steve, as we would once say in the hood, that's a big bitch.
That father, that poor father, the way they must have extorted that man to do that. Oh, man.
That's a big bitch. The dad is just ashamed of his motherfucking self. Please show it on Whitlock today. Anyway, Steve.
Anyway.
Yeah, see you Thursday.
Thursday.
Great prom. It's getting close to prom, Steve. It's Maine, California.
Massage, all that, rent the limo.
Hey, Steve, nice weather coming. I'll be on the yacht. You got to be out there with your best display of the hangover. Just sitting there with a beer.
Yeah, let's hope everyone stays on the boat this time. But anyway, guys, I'll talk to you Thursday.
Later.
Steve.
Homie. Come on, Smitty. Come on, homie. What are we doing?
Don't know. Don't show. Don't care about brothers in the hood.
Come on, Smitty.
Don't call
boy had a felt purple suit on, homie.
That's
insane.
Was
felt.
That's insane.
The shitty felt one too. Like,
yeah.
It feels weird, like it hurts almost when you rub it.
Yeah. I don't know what to do.
Did he have a wig on?
I think that's his hair. He just pressed it out.
Fuck it. Like Outcast?
Literally, exactly. That might have been what he was going for. Caroline. Outcast some legends. Shout out to Andre Three Stacks. But you know what, JB? I think we should do what's happening now. I think we should do that and then go to our last break of the day before we bring in our special guest for Houston, play-by-play for Houston, and we close on the show that way. What do you think? You disagree?
I want to talk about the Bible and race again.
No, I'm done with that rest of the show.
All right. Well, fuck it then. What's happening now? That's you on the right. Let's dive into it. Harvard football player, Seamus Gil Martin. I don't know his name, though. Seamus Gil Martin was arrested with viral sorority girl Lily Stewart over the weekend at 3 a.m. on the Georgia campus. Once again, Georgia is involved.
Georgia.
Fuck.
Georgia.
Gil Martin, they got a culture problem in Georgia, homie. Gil Martin, 20 years old, was reportedly arrested with multiple fake IDs from different states per police.
What's going on right here, homie? Like, I mean, you got white boy right here look like he comfortable, like he know he getting out, he ain't even tripping, and you got shorty like she's got. You talk about a curse, like she got cursed by the exorcist, like she just had the exorcist came through her, like look at her, she like this, homie.
I hit.
You would hit and turn into something,
huh?
You would hit, it'd probably be super good.
No, I mean, like I hit, I knock her out,
and then you would turn into something. That's some scary. You remember the movies that came out? Smile. I never watched it, but I saw the previews of them and all the little commercials. Smile. Literally
Yeah.
looks just like this.
Yeah, I do.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Literally looks like her.
I
Like,
haven't watched it. I don't watch those stupid movies on what is it on Tubi? I don't watch them.
No, I came on the theater. This is insane, homie. Like I'm
Tubi's
looking at
for
her
y'all.
face.
Tubi's for y'all.
I can't look at her face too long without like having to turn my head because like I feel like she gonna curse me, homie.
You think she gonna fuck with you?
Negatively, yes. Like spiritually.
You think she has like gawk is amazing.
It's amazing. And then she bites you at the end. Like
Yeah,
it always ends in a negative way with her.
Yeah, like she'll suck your balls like through your ass.
Like that's impossible, homie.
She'll do some crazy shit. Like you'll be like, holy
literally
shit.
crazy though.
Like you'll be like, holy fuck. Like where are my balls at?
She'll ride you in the back of the truck, like, nah, you ain't going nowhere. Like
drinking juice in the hood.
Like crazy, huh?
Yeah, motherfucker, let's get it on. Keenan,
Marlon Wayne.
Marlon. God damn, homie. So what's the deal? Does anyone know the
yeah? What's going on? I don't know what's going on. I've seen this. What's going on, homie?
She got multiple arrests, and apparently she told the cops, from what I've researched, she told the cops she's okay to do what she was doing because she's out on bond. Now, that's fact. That's what she said, homie. She's out on bond. So she apparently, she said she cool. So I don't know, dog. I don't know.
I'm trying to read.
I get on the yacht.
You got her on the yacht, or you got on the yacht?
Huh?
What'd you say?
This kid is the epitome of a Harvard player.
Yeah.
Like
but he sell weed to all his smart like homies though on campus. You know what I'm saying?
Or maybe
probably stronger than weed. He got like a real system though. Like
coke.
He hands you like notebooks and it's like a little thing in the notebook where the drugs is at.
His daddy is like major like accountant for some major firm or something, or
but
lawyer.
He don't like his daddy because his dad wants him to be just like him, and he wants to be like he can live life without being anything near his dad. He has an older brother who gets all the love too by the dad,
and he started kicking with brothers.
Yep, just to like prove something.
And they turned him out.
Now he raps on the side for fun. Like it's probably video of him like
says the word.
Well, y'all all say the word. Y'all say
the word. He says the word. Not the word that y'all is cool with. Prove.
Y'all always say it.
Y'all prove it. And then the girl, she got ran through by some brothers, and she might, you know what I'm saying, on some sort of like OnlyFans now. And that's really what went down. That's what I'm just picturing. That's really how we break down shit. Because most of the shit we break down on this show is usually used by someone else's show because it comes out to be true.
Right.
And we actually say it.
This is the second time she's been locked up this month. The first time she was going 77 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone on her way to a frat party. I'm not sure what this let me see. I'm not sure what this one's about. She clowning though. The fact she's smiling, she either high off some strong drugs and or she knows somebody higher up in Georgia to where she knows she's gonna be okay. So I don't know. Oh, you don't know about that?
Nah, I got DMs and people texting me all fucking 2 days in a row. I'm like, what's going on?
Well, if you want me, I can bring it up real quick. You want me to?
Yeah, if you know about it.
Well,
you know about it?
Bruce said no. So we'll just go to break, and then when we come back, we can.
No. Fuck all that. He's protecting Dion. Fuck that. Tell me the truth.
Okay.
Tell me the deal.
Right. Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth, then, homie. So basically,
fuck all that. Anytime Dion come up, motherfucker, Bailey don't want to talk about it. Bring his motherfucking ass up. What's he want to talk about? Show me.
Dion was on NFL.
I would never protect Dion, so I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, so what the fuck? Why you in the back like, no, motherfucker? Bailey, it's okay. We can talk about Dion.
I'm not saying you can't talk about Dion, but I'm saying that's a lot of stuff.
Why don't you want to talk about it? Why don't you want to talk about it? Tell us.
I didn't say we didn't have to talk about it, but I'm saying we need like 3 videos to show what you're talking about in that topic there.
Well, I don't care about all that. I just want to get the synopsis. So, Smitty, you said you knew about it. Tell me.
Yeah, just real quick. So basically, Deion was on NFL Network. I think it was him and my guy Bucky Brooks. Shout out to Bucky Brooks, and they were talking about the T-step. You know, that a lot of corners use, and Deion was like 100% against using it. He basically was saying like he was showcasing it in a Deion way of basically calling it stupid, calling it corners shouldn't use it. It's a waste of movement to do it. Asante Samuel responded on Twitter, basically saying like this is laughable, this is idiotic. Him saying this, obviously everybody started to. He had a lot of support of people like I think Richard Sherman, Cromartie, a couple guys saying that they use the T-step very successfully in their careers, you know, etc. Boom. Then obviously the Deion Hive, a lot of them started attacking Asante. Asante started throwing out stats and basically saying that if you look at my numbers, I had a better career than Deion. I'm better than Deion. Asante Samuel, the OG Asante Samuel. So that caused a whole. So obviously Shannon Sharp on Nightcap, his show with Chad, you know, him and Deion are tight, of course. He defended Deion and kind of went in on Asante, you know, they saying, you know, has he ever been how many all pros he has, how many Pro Bowls he has he ever been all decade? He was like, listen, I don't know why he mad at me, because he's I'm just telling you what the facts are. You were a really good player. You were a really good guy. I gave you a compliment, but you're not Deion. He say, you know, that's basically, you know, he showed his Hall of Fame buff. You know how Shannon Sharp is. So it was a whole thing. I don't know if Deion even responded to Asante. I haven't seen anything myself. But yeah, Shannon was defending Deion. It was all about this T-step. It's literally that's where it started from. And then Asante went on the whole thing about how he's better than Deion, and it got crazy.
Well, there's no one better than Deion. I'm gonna be honest. So like, there's no one better than Deion. So that's like talking to like, and Deion's technique. If you want to really talk about it, like people break down, it was not very good. He wasn't like I'm the technical guy that you go clinic with.
He's just a great athlete.
Deion just was an anomaly, homie. There ain't no. And by the way, he could do whatever the fuck he wanted, right? And do what he did. I think
to that point though, I think that's why Asante and some others was like, Deion, you're a freak athlete. So yeah, you didn't do the T-step because you were just a freak and you can do whatever you want. A lot of us normal corners, the T-step can be very successful if used properly. So I actually agree with what they're saying on that front. But then when they got to the point of him saying, look at my numbers, pass deflection, this, that, and the third. Asante made a video last night saying, if you take my 5 years from like 06 to, what did he say, 2011 or some time frame, just take my 5 seasons compared to Deion's entire career and tell me what you see. I'm like, all right, now Asante, you was good, bro, but you're not Deion. You're going to do too far now. So
yeah, and this is why a lot of you out here don't understand anything. And this is why perfect. Thank you, Jesus, for if JB saying that says something. See, this is why you don't understand what the truth means. When have I ever not said Deion is not in my top 2? Not only is he, as far as the greatest athletes ever, I've been on this show 1,000 times, and I've said I consider Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson the 2 most freakish talents to ever play. The best player ever to me is Lawrence Taylor. Deion is 2. I said Deion's the 2nd greatest player ever to play, in my opinion. I've said it, I don't know how many times. But when I discuss him coaching, I hate Deion again. You guys are so fucking narrow-minded, dog. It blows my fucking mind. I've never not said Deion's not one of the greatest. Like, that's never been a discussion on this show. I think Smitty knows I've said it. I think Matt knows I've said it. I think has nothing to do with the other. Has nothing to do with the other thing. So I can't critique him because he was one of the greatest players of all time. But when I do, I'm a hater. That's the crazy part. But anyway, you guys.
And then you see this post right here. It's Asante put up like their numbers, you know, and you know he got some better numbers than Deion. But as we all know, I always say this. I say this in every sport. Stats do not tell the full picture, especially at corner, because a lot of times the lockdown corners don't have the best stats if we're keeping it all the way funky because people ain't going at them. I'm just being all the way real. So listen, Asante was really good. I'm a Colts fan, so we used to go to the Patriots all the time. Asante used to make big plays. I'm not a Asante hater. He's a really good corner. He's not Deion. Yeah, it is what it is.
See, the thing is that Richard Sherman, 6'3.5", 6'4", doesn't get enough credit for everyone wants to say he's a zone guy. No, he's not. Pete Carroll didn't run a lot of zone on the Legion of Boom, by the way. They ran a lot of two-man over the top and quarters match, which means you're going to be in man more often than zone in that particular defense that Pete Carroll ran. And by the way, when he got beat, it was always on a big-time shot, and everyone said, oh, because he's slow, he's a zone breeder. If you look at his technique, he was unbelievable. He just wasn't 4-3.
Right.
And so eventually you will get beat over the top when you are the defense Seattle had at that time, when there was a lot of peekers going on around there because we knew see-ball, hit ball, and that defense was legendary. Like Richard Sherman's technique, though, I would argue is better than a lot of these motherfuckers, but he wasn't the fastest. So guess what? Everyone said he's a zone guy. No, he wasn't. Darrell Green was so fast, he ran 4.3 and all 4.2 and all that. Everyone thought he was a man guy. Darrell Green played more zone than fucking Richard Sherman. But see, you guys don't know football like that. You just think he ran a fucking 40 time, so automatically he was a man playing corner. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. And by the way, Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers ran zone. But when they had Dion over here, he took the best receiver and they locked him up one-on-one. We used to call it banjo, meaning inside technique. So you took away the slant, and he was so fast he could take away the fade. So we just locked him up over here, and we played two matching quarters over here. That's what the Niners did with Dion, and that's what the Cowboys did with Dion. Go watch tape. And then you got Darrell Revis, who I don't think he's as good as Sherman. I don't have him on that scale. But Darrell Revis, everyone thinks he played man. No, go look at Rex Ryan's defense. They played a lot of fucking match zone on that particular Jets team that was really good. But when you watch him in Smitty, I don't think they realize football. The common fan sees like cat playing catch technique or playing some sort of cloud, the ball's thrown, and the motherfucker goes and dig, and they think he's playing man the whole time. Motherfucker, you don't understand football, homie. Like that's the problem. You think about fuckers running real fast, catching the ball, and see the ball, and he was in man phase.
No.
He was playing zone, homie. You just don't know football. So stop acting as if you motherfuckers know because someone's slow and tall versus a fast and short guy like Darrell Revis or Ty Law or fucking Asante Samuel. Asante Samuel is a great corner, but especially right now when Dion's name is what it is, you're not gonna you're pissing up a rope right here trying to go at Dion now when Dion's Weddle wasn't a corner, Ron. So no, he doesn't get any love on this particular topic. He didn't play corner.
Right.
Anyway, Smitty, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back with the one and only, the University of Houston's play-by-play commentator. We're going to talk all things Houston, how they're the 1 seed, what's going on in the tournament, and what's the peak and the pinnacle for the University of Houston in this tournament. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Los Angeles Sparks WNBA team, Smitty, says we're looking for a few good men. They want male practice players for the 2025 season. Do you have what it takes, Smitty?
Well, listen, to answer your question, I do have what it takes, but I will not be participating because I don't have the time to do so. But they do have tryouts. They are having tryouts for all the LA folks. Saturday, April 12th, here in a couple weeks, really a month away, from 10 to 12 p.m. at El Camino College. Shout out to El Camino. My brother Jujak played at El Camino. And listen, this is something where if you follow WNBA, if you ever talk to any WNBA players, this is something that they do all the time, every year. I think most teams, even college teams, some of the good collegiate teams, they'll have some males come in, got some student athletes who maybe played basketball in high school but wasn't good enough to play at the next level. That they'll have them come in to help them, play more like at a physical level, to just, kind of be like the scout team, so to speak, to have those others to where you're getting those real reps. And it's a situation where, hey, you're able to go against, men and be able to succeed against them. Then when you go through the games, you would hope it make it a little easier when you're going against, other women. Like the goal of any practice is to make your practice extremely hard so the games are easier. I know all my successful teams, our practices were hard as hell. High school at Warren Central, first couple years at Ball State, and then when game day got there, it was like, shoot, we didn't do everything, we didn't prepare it. So this is what they're doing. They want to make sure they're competing at the highest level. They want to create a physical environment, physical team, and this is what they do. Like, this is a regular thing, Jason. I know this is rare to you because you're finally putting your eye to the sport. This is a normal thing. Every lady in the chat who watches the sport, every man in the chat who watches the sport, y'all know I'm right. So I love it. I love it.
Smitty. T's and P's, man. I want to show up. I think we should film it. I think that's the get us over the hump viral clip.
That's the moment.
I want to show up. Because it's a mockery.
April 12th, homie, show up 10 to 12. Don't go on the boat. Go to El Camino. Bring your basketball shorts from the 80s and go out, put your goggles on and go out there and do your thing. And you're going to get worked. You're going to get worked. That's the funny thing. Because you ain't did no workout in years. So you out of shape. 2 times up and down the court. It's a wrap. I love it. Listen, why are you upset? Wasn't you and Shaun King the same people who were upset when we what was it? It was a girls flag football we showed. It was a clip. And they had women also doing the sideline reporting. And Shaun stated that he thinks it's not fair that they don't have any men doing the sideline reporting for the women's sport because they have women do sideline reporting for the men's sport. So this is kind of that same breath, right? They're hiring men to come in and be able to help this team improve throughout the season, become practice players, become scout team players. They're providing job opportunities for men. And it's allowing the women to get better. I don't understand. It's a win-win for all parties, homie. The men ain't trying out for the actual team. It's just practice, homie.
Meanwhile, this happened. That's Sabrina, homie.
Yeah, Sabrina Ionescu. She got fouled, and yeah.
Fouled?
There's nothing here.
She got fouled?
It's a blocking foul. That's a blocking
foul. That's what you take out of that.
Yeah.
You don't take that Lil Wong, 15-year-old Asian boy, cut her off to the spot.
No.
And literally got in front of her 3 different occasions, moved his feet 3 times and cut her off. And we want fucking Reese to get paid millions of dollars?
Yes, sir. Hour number 3, man. Make sure y'all do y'all thing, man. Let's start this week off the right way. It's Tuesday. So y'all hopefully y'all started yesterday, but let's get these memberships going. I think we finally hit 1,000. The next step is to get to 1,500. And we can't do that without y'all, man. So anybody who's not a member right now, go ahead, sign up, become a member. We're going to continue to do more and more stuff exclusive for our members, whether it's members only chat, whether that's certain deals, Discord, other things here in the summer, you name it. So if you're not a member, become a member. Lock it in. D Jones, be quiet.
What's tomorrow? Wednesday, right? Tomorrow's work boot Wednesday. Shaun King will join us at the 8 o'clock hour. And then I think we have an 8:30 guest. I'm not sure.
Really?
Is that it, Bailey? That's all we got on tomorrow? If that's the case, check it if you can, Bailey, the email from Craig. If there's a guest. If not, we'll have Lonnie Johnson, new Las Vegas Raiders corner, on at 8 o'clock. So that's what we'll do. So Lonnie Johnson will be on tomorrow at 8 a.m. The new Raider corner. That's speaking of 6'4" corners. Lonnie Johnson will join us tomorrow. And then Tim Neverett will join us at 8:30. And obviously, who else? Shaun King. So we'll have a loaded lineup tomorrow as well. Tim Neverett, if you don't know, is a baseball commentator, and he actually currently works as a television and radio play-by-play announcer for, guess who? The defending World Series champion, Los Angeles Dodgers. And he'll be joining us tomorrow. For a Dodger breakdown as they get into opening day at Dodger Stadium against the Tigers, which I'll be at, Smitty, Thursday. So
you gonna be at the game?
Huh?
You gonna be at the game?
Forgot I didn't tell you.
You're leaving the house? That's crazy. That's a shocker. I'm happy for. I'm so glad that you're actually doing more things, getting on the yacht.
I was gonna invite you, but I was like, fuck.
No, it's probably during like my show time anyway. The baseball games be at like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. It'd be like work hours. I don't get that.
Yeah, opening day is always like, cause I think it's a 4:30 or something though, because they're gonna do the ring ceremony.
I know, but I don't get off work till 4. Then I gotta drive downtown.
Straight over there, dog. Got to do it, homie.
I'm saying, by the time I get there, it'll be the 7th inning by the time I get downtown.
So I gave it the studio. That you shitted on that. Gave you the opportunity to go on the yacht and do a show. Scared to go back.
I did it.
Everything I bring up, homie, just keep shitting on it. So I don't know what to do.
We can go down. I'm just saying, I'm gonna get there at like the 6th inning. These games are so quick now. They got the pitch count. I mean, so we can try to make it happen. But anyway, I think it's time though to move into our last segment. We have a special guest here.
Yes. Let me introduce him, man. This man is the he's a co-host of the Killer Bees, by the way, on ESPN 975. And he is the play-by-play color commentator for the University of Houston Cougs. And that's why I'm in all red, because the Houston Cougars is who I picked to win the national championship. So let's bring our main man in, Jeremy Branham. Appreciate Jeremy joining the show. Jeremy, appreciate you joining us, brother.
Yeah, happy to be on with you guys. A show on a yacht?
Oh, that's I do my yacht show, man. But you know, BPS, he's scared to go out. Jeremy,
yeah,
I don't understand what's going on.
I got to figure out how to get that going on. That sounds like a good deal.
I could go around, right? I can go around here. I go around Tijuana, come down. I'll go all the way to you and scoop you up in like Galveston, I guess.
Yeah, they have cruises that go out of Galveston. I'm down. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's go.
I'm not on a cruise. I'm just on a 40-foot yacht.
That's even better. That's even better.
If you like a little, we'll get a little bumpy, and hey, I got sound system, I got a bedroom, shower, and we got it all.
Sure, that sounds good to me. Thanks for having me on, by the way. I'm a big fan. I was scrolling through TikTok the other day, and look, I think you have great perspective on sports. But I think you were grilling up a tomahawk steak with some garlic butter shrimp. Oh, yeah. He knows what he's doing. I need this guy in my life. I want to be friends with him. So, pick up on the yacht, have a tomahawk and some shrimp ready to go. I'll bring the drinks.
You know what I'm installing today after the show? I'm going out on the yacht. I'm installing a grill on the yacht.
On the yacht? You didn't tell me that.
Well, you don't come out anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That might be the thing that brings me out there.
He's in now.
He's in. Jeremy, man, listen, the money-wise, the odds as a 1 seed, I know Houston still was a 1 seed, but for the money-wise, I always say scared money don't make money. I bet my money early on the Houston Cougs to win it. Calvin Sampson, a huge fan. I think he has to get over the proverbial hump, right, and win this thing. How realistic is it versus this team versus the years past that you've seen these other unbelievable Houston teams come up short?
Tournament's tough, right? Like you have to beat 6 teams that are in the top 68 in the country. And depending on what your seed is, those games could all be coin flip games, right? Like you have the benefit of being a 1 seed. That first game is probably not a coin flip game. But Gonzaga, that's a coin flip game. Purdue is going to be a coin flip game. If you're lucky enough to win that, you're playing the winner of Kentucky, Tennessee. That's a coin flip game. Final Four, you might be an underdog in one of those games. But if you're like a 5 or a 6 seed, you got to win 6 coin flips to win the national championship. That's how hard it is. These aren't the best of 7. So I always call the tournament fickle because you're a sprained ankle away from being eliminated. And, that used to be kind of like just an adage, just a saying. And then last year, Houston's playing in the Sweet 16 against Duke. Jamal Shedd sprains his ankle 10 minutes into the game, doesn't come back in. And look, I'm wearing Houston, so I'm biased, but you will never convince me that Houston wasn't going to the Final Four last year, and you roll an ankle and your season's toast. Your season's done. So the tournament's tough, but this team's really good. This team's capable of beating anybody in the country. They're capable of losing to Purdue. They're capable of losing to Gonzaga because that's how good those teams are. But Houston's good. Their defense is their defense. I think you really like how Kelvin Sampson coaches. Defensive-minded. Their system is their system. They're always going to be really good. I think that they've been underrated offensively. People are starting to notice it more this year because the shooting is really good. One of the best three-point shooting teams in the country. But they're versatile, too. They can score from all over. You can get 20 points from your point guard. L.J. Cryer had 30 against Gonzaga. Manuel Sharp has a 20-point game in him. Jawan Roberts can do it. JoJo Tugler's probably, of the starting 5, your lowest scorer, but he had a double-double against Gonzaga. He scored in double figures. So they're very versatile offensively. They can shoot it really well, and then they just play Houston Cougar defense, where they're going to be one of the best in the country on that end of the floor every year.
Hey, Jeremy, go ahead, Shane.
One quick question about the next matchup going against Purdue. As a Houston fan, if you are a Houston fan, what's the biggest concerns, or I guess what are some of the biggest challenges that Purdue presents for Houston?
They can really shoot it. They're a good shooting team. They shoot 39% from 3 on the year. Braden Smith's an All-American point guard, and he's legit. He can beat you. He is a really good point guard, one of the best point guards in the country. I think the guy that we overlook, and I don't know how we overlook him that much, he's averaging 20 a game this year, is Trey Kaufman-Renn. He's really good. I think he's one of the more underrated players in the country. I watched a little bit. I watched most of the High Point game, a little bit of the McNeese game, their first 2 games in the tournament. They kill teams with that high middle pick and roll. They get Smith with Kaufman-Renn setting a screen, rolling to the basket. They get some mismatches there, whether they sag off of Smith, he hits a 3. Smith can beat you off the dribble. Kaufman-Renn will pin you down low, get you in some deep positioning. Really good. And then they surround those guys with shooters. So if you're helping, you're trying to bring an extra body at that pick and roll, well, all of a sudden you got Lawyer wide open for 3. You got Cox wide open for 3. So they're really good offensively. They'll play hard defensively, get after you there. And I think they're really well coached from Matt Painter, too. He's a heck of a coach.
Old school guy. We had Josh Pastner on yesterday who just took the UNLV job. Yeah. He was on our show yesterday and was talking about, and I had, a good friend of mine, Frank Martin, was on Friday, and we were like, the older guys are the ones in the tournament doing their thing. I think these young coaches are scared of that. They just got the bigger bags at some of these bigger schools. Where are you at with the Houston knock, where everyone says, oh, well, when they go cold on offense, they can go cold for 10 minutes, but their defense keeps them in those games versus other teams, they go cold, team may pull away and get up by 10, 15 points. Houston doesn't seem to have that. They go cold, they're going to have this. You mentioned it. Their offense is much more underrated this year than it has been in the past. They're a better shooting team from the perimeter, but Houston's defense is always going to keep them in there. Are you worried that their offense gets cold and stagnant?
No, I worry. And again, I'm wearing U of H stuff, so I'm biased. I'm probably not the most subjective person talking about them.
That's why I got you on. That's why I'm wearing red today.
No, I think that's a byproduct of kind of how they play, though. They play so good defensively that their opponents are shooting late in the shot clock. They're not gonna get shots up early, first 10 seconds of the 30-second shot clock, and then that kind of slows the game down. So you see droughts a little bit that are a little different. The way Houston plays whenever they're going up against anybody, it's going to be a slower tempo game than if it were 2 high-powered offenses. So, if you see a 2.5-minute scoring drought in a Houston game when their tempo is like in the 300s, KenPom adjusted tempo, analytical stuff, then it's easier to do that because you have fewer possessions. If you're running up and down the floor, NBA style game, well, then that's less likely to have droughts because you're getting less shots up. But no, that's been something that people have talked about with Houston in the past. But I think their offensive versatility, you can find buckets in different ways. Whether you're hunting matchups, maybe you see one of your opponents that of their 5 that are on the floor that they can't defend, so you go after that guy and you attack that guy. Or maybe in the past you wouldn't have had that luxury because you only have 2-3 scorers. Now you have 4, maybe even 5 guys that are capable of scoring on the floor at any given time. You can pick matchups better that way. And I think that's why Houston has a top 10 offensive efficiency in the country.
And let's talk about real quick, like Houston's different in my opinion. That's why I picked them. First, the other teams, if their offense does struggle, Houston has the ability and capability of turning defense into offense, which all great teams do, which you won't see on the stat sheet. A steal for a layup doesn't necessarily mean their offense is on fire again. It just means they're generating possessions, right? Is that going to be critical in this final in the Sweet 16?
Yeah, I think it's critical anytime you're playing a really good opponent. And I mean, you're looking at the final 16 teams in the country. So however many games you have left and whoever you're playing, I think it will be critical. I think you nailed it right there. The Houston does like scoring on the break. They like to get turnovers and score easy buckets. Like they're not going to get a steal and then run into the half court and just chill. Like if they have an advantage, they're going to take advantage of that. And a lot of times it's even the 3-pointers, transition 3. Cryer and Sharp are really good at trailing. Uzan, if he's the guy generating the fast break, they're really good at trailing, finding their spot. All of a sudden, you got a kick back, wide open look at 3. I think it's what got Cryer going against Gonzaga. He hit a transition 3 early, and then all of a sudden, boom, 30 on you. And then the other thing, too, where they can survive droughts better than other teams, and I think every team goes through droughts, but they can survive it better than other teams because they're not giving up very many points. Maybe the best defense in the entire country, depending on metrics you look at, they are the best defensive team in the country. So if you have a really good defense and you don't score for 3 minutes, you can survive that a lot better than if you have a really bad defense where your offense can't score in 3 minutes because, maybe you put up a goose egg. Maybe the opponent only scores 2 points while you're in a drought. So that defense always keeps them in games.
No doubt.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Let me ask you this, but besides Houston, obviously, I mean, I know you're biased towards Houston, but I know you watch and cover all of the March Madness as well. Who would you say is the scariest team left here in the Sweet 16 outside of Houston? Is there a team where you're like, man, like maybe some people are sleeping on this team a little bit, but like to your vision, who's the scariest?
Sleeping, no, because it's probably chalk my answer to this. Part of the, not getting upsets in the first couple of rounds, you got these heavyweight matchups in the Sweet 16. Like there are some blue bloods going up against blue bloods. There are teams that in the last 10 years have been dominant going up against teams that have been dominant in the last 10 years. So no upsets in the first 2 rounds has led to some very intriguing matchups in the Sweet 16 and probably even a little further. We played Alabama and Auburn early in the year. We played Auburn at the Rockets Arena in Houston. Close game, down to the wire. They edged us at the end. Janai Broome, arguably one of the best players in the country. I'd have him at least top 2, top 3. Played really well that night. Their freshman, Pettiford, had a big night against us. Scored 20. I think it was the first time in his career he scored 20. It was early in the year. So they're really good. Bruce Pearl, he can coach it too. Nate Oates at Alabama, their offense is very, very good. They get into the hand of Sears. They clear out. Sears a lot like Jalen Brunson. He's kind of a bully, getting to the basket, can finish at the rim. If you help off of him, they surround him with shooters, and then they play very hard defensively. And then you look, I haven't seen Duke up close and personal in person like I have Alabama and Auburn because we played them. But I've watched Duke a good amount, and just looking at these mock drafts, they have 3 lotto picks. Like that's tough to beat. They have 3 lotto picks. So obviously Cooper Flagg is the projected number 1 pick, the Kneppel guy. I saw him as high as number 6, their big guy, the 7'2" guy. I saw him in the top 15. And then what I really like about their roster is they have those young guys, right? Young, lottery pick, NBA, one and done types. But then Shire surrounded them with college basketball veterans, like a bunch of old veteran guys that are in their 5th year that probably won't play in the NBA, and they'll have great careers overseas, but they're really good college players. And then you have these freshmen, you combine them with these really good upperclassmen. I think it was a really good roster build. So I would say Duke's the most talented team left in the tournament. How could they not be? I mean, they have 3 lotto picks on that squad. Yeah. Alabama's very good. Auburn's very good too.
Let me ask you, Smitty's from Naptown, Indianapolis, and the Sweet 16 for Houston is right there in Naptown, and they got to possibly play a Tennessee that's in Knoxville, not too far away. You can drive it. Lexington, Kentucky, you can drive it. And Purdue is right there. So, how much of a factor is it going to be for some home cooking for, each one of their opponents possibly after, let's say they get by Purdue, and it's going to be fan favorites of the opposing team that they're going to have to play, especially this first one in Purdue. It's going to be probably packed.
It's going to be packed with Boilermakers fans. Yeah. Trust me.
Is that a factor for you guys? Is that something that coach can say, hey, man, it's being 69 years old, Coach Sampson, as one of the OGs in this business, he's been there, done that. Is this something that you like to have the older coach and say, hey, man, listen, this ain't shit. This is the same neutral court at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I think absolutely, yes. You always want Coach Sampson on your side, and he will have their mind right. He is a master motivator. They will be in the right mind frame. I have no doubt about that. It will be a factor too, though. Like, absolutely, it's gonna be a factor. Like, Lucas Oil is where it's being held. I don't know I know the seating configuration is a little different. They're only going to use like half of the stadium or even like a third of it or something like that. I don't know the capacity. I think it's 30,000 as opposed to like 70,000, what it would be for a football game. That's still a lot. Like, you don't go to many arenas that are 30,000 full of people. So it will be a factor. That is a huge advantage for Purdue. I wish we would have 25,000 Houston Cougar fans. I wish this game was being played in, Houston or suburban Houston or whatever the case may be. So it will be a factor. Now, I do think Houston kind of thrives in these situations. I think it's something that they embrace. And you look at this season, Houston did not lose a road game all year. They went 10-0 in road games. They've won 14 straight Big 12 road games. First time that's ever been done in the conference's history. So it's a factor. I think it is a huge advantage when you have your home crowd there and a big home crowd at that. But I do think that this is the type of team, because of Sampson's mentality, that does thrive in these road type of environments.
Let me ask you this. If Houston does go on to finish his journey the right way and win the Natty, where would that put this team in terms of just the history of Houston? Because correct me if I'm wrong, has Houston won a Natty before?
They've never won one. They've never won. They've gotten close. Yeah, they've gotten close. They've lost a couple of championships. Elvin Hayes, who's my color guy. Elvin Hayes is on our radio broadcast with me. They went to 2 Final Fours with Guy V. Lewis back in the late 60s, and they went to 3 straight with Phi Slamma Jamma. I got close. Still have horrible memories of that NC State game, and then I always see it again in March. They like to play that thing a whole lot this time of year. And then they went to the Final Four the COVID year in Indy. Actually, Houston's played 3 games at Lucas Oil Stadium back in the COVID year in 2021. So those are their Final Four appearances, but they've never won a national championship. So yeah, if they were to win it all, it would be the pinnacle. It would be the highlight of program history without a doubt.
No doubt. Hey, Jeremy, I got to ask you, Calipari came out after the big win over St. John's, the 2 Paisanos going at it, and the 10 seed Arkansas, basically a full rebuild after leaving Kentucky, goes over here, gets them in the Sweet 16, and immediately addresses the media when they said, hey, when's the portal open? And he says tomorrow, which was Sunday, now Monday, which is yesterday. How does Calvin Sampson approach this and address this? And how do people, I never really hear it too much in the Houston Cougars coming out of there as far as a kid trying to leave or anything like that, with all the outside noise that Cal has to deal with today. Scottie Pippen's son left Michigan. They're a Sweet 16 team right during the tournament. It's just crazy, man. We had Pastor on yesterday. Is like, this is part of the deal now. Yeah. Unfortunate as it is, you really can't coach them like we used to. How does Calvin handle that as far as, this portal and this whole crazy business?
They'll look for portal guys. Now he is a coach that likes to build through high school players, which a lot of guys don't do that anymore. A lot of coaches. I heard Rick Pitino, like the way our roster is coming back next year, we're not even looking at high school guys. Yeah. So it's different strokes for different folks. Kelvin Sampson is a great developer of talent. So I think he really likes to have the freshmen come in and mold them and develop them into the player that he sees in them, and then eventually they become. He's been really good at getting guys to the NBA draft lately too, especially guards. Is why guards really want to come to Houston. He won't talk about it though. Like while they're in the tournament, if he got asked a transfer portal question, he would shut you up quickly. He wouldn't discuss it. Now, are the assistants looking? Probably. Like you have to, right? Like if you're not, then you're kind of setting yourself up not for failure, but you're going to be behind everybody else. So I hate the schedule of it, right? I wish it was after the NCAA tournament. And I get that college athletics are way different now than they were 5 years ago. But it is what it is, right? And it's either you adapt and you evolve to what it has become, or you get left behind, or you retire. You leave the game. So you have to be willing to evolve. I wish they would change it.
No doubt. It's a loaded question because I didn't know. I wanted to know, do you get any insight on any of this stuff? Like, why are they opening it at this time?
Yeah.
Like the college football opens. We had a kid at Texas, UT, obviously in the state, 2 years ago, Malik Murphy, quarterback, who helped them win 4 games on a playoff run. He is the portal during the playoffs. College basketball now this year, we're dealing with the portal open. By the way, yesterday, 700 kids entered the college basketball portal.
Yeah. I kind of stay out of that side of it, quite frankly. Like I don't care that much. Like you're going to have the roster that you have. For my specific job, like I'm going to show up to the game and I'm going to call the game. I'm going to
research who's playing, right?
So, it's much different for me than it is coach. It's easy for me. Like I'm going to do what I always do. Now for the coaches, it's a headache, especially if you're still in the tournament. My guess, and look, again, I ignore this. I don't even really read on it. I don't even press the coaches about it because a lot of times I don't even want information because they give me information and somebody else leaks it. Like you told everybody. No, I stay out of all that stuff. I know that they're going to have a really good team. Kelvin Sampson's the head coach. They're going to have a really good team. The roster is going to be built really well, and I'll see you when the season kicks off. Like that's kind of my attitude towards it. But if I had to guess why it's like this, like the football calendar, the basketball calendar, and people can fact check me on this, I think it has to do with the academic side of things. Like when a student can become enrolled in the university. Yeah. But at the same time, are these student athletes? I know they used to be student athletes, but are they student athletes now? Like let's figure out a way to work this out. Like the NFL has their season, right? They play the Super Bowl. They have a dead period. They have legal tampering. You have free agency. You have a draft. They don't do that while the playoffs are going on. So let's get a unified body together here. Let's get a commissioner here. Let's get this all figured out, and let's have an off season. If you want to have NIL, cool. You want to have transfer portal, cool. But let's figure out a calendar that works best for everybody.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I couldn't agree more. It makes no sense, but we shall see if they'll actually make some changes there. Let me ask you this before we let you go. And again, thank you so much for joining us. Just kind of talking more about your actual job, your day-to-day job. Like, talk about how fun is it to do what you do? I mean, you get to, obviously, you say you keep saying you're biased, but you actually love this Houston team, obviously, and you love the sport. To be able to go and be able to do the color commentary and talk about this. Like, let's talk about the nature of the job itself.
Oh, it's a blessing. I'm so blessed doing what I'm doing. Like, and I cherish I love what I do. Yeah. I always wanted to be in sports. I wasn't good enough to play sports for a living. So how else can I make a living in sports? And I kind of got into play-by-play, got into sports talk radio, but there's no better feeling in my mind of being in the arena. Being there for the big game, seeing the big plays, seeing the buzzer-beating shots, hearing the roar of the crowd, or maybe the silence of a hostile road environment. So to me, the goosebumps you get of those moments are like what drives me. That's what I love. I love being in the arena, and I grew up in Houston. Like my Uncle Barney, he would take me to Houston games. Like Houston football used to play in the Astrodome. We used to be a couple of the 1,000 people that went there because they weren't good back in the day. I remember going to Hoffein's Pavilion before it was renovated to the Fertitta Center, and there was 100 people there. Rats are running around the arena. They are awful. They're awful. It shows you how great of a job Kelvin Sampson has done. So I grew up in Houston as a sports fan. I grew up in Houston as a Houston Cougar fan. And then now I'm calling some of the biggest games in Houston Cougar basketball history. You know, I'm working with Elvin Hayes, like one of the greatest players of all time and the greatest Houston Cougar basketball player of all time. And it's not close. So, yeah, I kind of pinch myself a lot. I'm very fortunate doing what I do, and I do not lose sight of that. I'm very, very blessed.
Hey, Jeremy, you said you're blessed, and that's a segue that I wanted to dive into real quick. I know you're a Christian man, faithful and all that in that area. We got a California kid who's the quarterback of the great Houston Texan team that's trying to become great anyway. And he's addressed this too. Is this just a Texas thing? Seems like everybody in Texas right now is starting to address the elephant on the wall that we kind of took away for the last, I don't know, 4 or 10 years. I don't know how many years, but we took God and Jesus out of prayer in high school. You can't pray around your players. We had a coach get fired for praying. It just seems like we're upside down world, man. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because you said that you're blessed to be in this situation. I'm sure you would say God put you here to call these games in the greatest era of Houston basketball history. And then we got guys like him coming out, CJ, who we know well, who's saying this now. And he always is mentioning God after games there in Houston. How much do you contribute faith to your position?
I try to do it through my actions. You know, I don't think that our, listeners of mine, and it's much different on a sports talk radio show than it is a game.
Yeah.
So sports talk is probably the biggest area of where like it could come into play. But I try to do it through action versus like sitting there behind a microphone and preaching. You know, I don't think people necessarily want to hear that. But if you lead your life with that example, I think people can notice that and be like, oh, okay, there is a different way to do this. Like I don't, like CJ, I don't cuss. It's very rarely will you hear me cuss, almost never. And on sports talk radio, that's different, right? Like that's different. Like that's not something that you hear every day. And maybe to some people, oh, you're a prude. Oh, look at this purist, like all that. That doesn't bother me.
Right.
Like people's opinions I care about are my family and my Lord. So like
you are who you are.
And people are going to judge you anyway. So be you.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think leading through example is at least my mantra. It's kind of the way that I do it. Now, if you want to have a conversation with me, let's go. You know, if you pull me to the side, let's talk. All right, let's talk. Let's have that conversation. But for me, it's more action example than sitting there just trying to preach to you. I think there is a time and place for that. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that's the time and place for it.
Yeah.
But, if you want to seek me out, we want to have a conversation, let's do it. And then again, I'm going to try to lead by example.
Jeremy, I don't think people realize we are what we do, not what we say we do. And too many people nowadays want to say what they say they're going to do.
Right.
What you do. That's why I don't apologize. I'm unapologetic because I am who I am. And I'm like, hey, it is what it is. People don't.
And we love you for it. We love you for it.
People don't realize though. Like you are who you are, not what you say you are. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm glad you are who you are, man. And keep killing it. I got money on Houston, Jeremy. If I win, I'm pulling up on you and take you and the fam out on the yacht.
Okay, yeah, I'm down. Like you don't have to twist my arm there. I like a little. And if you're cooking up those tomahawks and that garlic butter shrimp,
I mean, hey, he has a brand new grill on the yacht. He's putting up today, so we should be good to go.
This was before I was asked to come on. I think it was over the weekend. I got asked to come on Monday, so I'm not BSing you here. I think I favorited it. I think I put it in my folder because I like the garlic butter.
Follow you on TikTok now. Yeah, TikTok kind of shadow ban. I think they call it shadow bans me because
they shadow ban you.
I think so. I get quite primitive at times. I think.
Probably that.
I say a few words. Yeah, I say a few things. Here's the thing.
Oh, do you?
Where's the Final Four? Where's the Final Four this year?
It's in San Antonio.
San Antonio.
I was hoping it would be somewhere West Coast, and then you'd have to come here, and then I'd give you a little.
No, I like it in San Antonio. I'd love to get out there and meet you, but I'm really happy that it's in San Antonio.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Riverwalk. I love the Riverwalk. Man. Jeremy, I can't thank you enough, brother. I hope to have you on again. Maybe when you guys are in the Final Four, we'll do it again.
Anytime. Call me up.
All right, Jeremy. I appreciate you, brother. Good luck.
Nice to meet you.
All right, y'all have a good night. Good seeing you guys.
Thank you. You too.
Yes, sir. God bless. Man, having Jeremy on here, man, that's amazing, man. Clap it up for Jeremy, giving us real insight, real knowledge on all things Houston. And man, that's how you do it. This was a good show. You know, we debated at one point, got a little loud, simmered back down. We had Steve, we had Jeremy. We talked college ball. We on the football side, on the basketball side, sprinkling in a little NFL with Puka Nacua. It's just a good show right here, y'all. I miss y'all. I hope y'all miss me.
They said I got BBL.
Yep, yeah, BBL. Forgot about that. The way he was standing on that yacht was very plausible.
Shout out to Coach Yo at Ole Miss. I think they take on my UCLA Bruins.
Hey, by the way, I got beef with Coach Yo, so I can't wait until she come on here because I got something to say to her. I got some beef with her.
You don't have beef with her.
I got beef with Coach Yo. You want to know why? Because she knocked out my Ball State Cardinals in the first round. My women's Ball State Cardinals won the match, got into it the first time they had got in years, like over a decade. And first round, they run into Ole Miss, and they beat us by like 20. So I got a problem with you, Coach Yo. I got a problem with you doing this like that. We're going to talk about it. I can't wait to see you on the show.
I'm talking to her right now.
Tell her we got beef right now. Chirp, chirp.
I didn't say chirp, chirp, though. I'll never say that. It's kind of like feminine.
It's a card.
Hey, shout out to the women, though. Wisconsin's hired former Missouri head coach Robin Pington as their new head coach for the women.
There you go. Shout out to
So
Robin.
don't say I never mention women. Don't ever say I don't mention them. So I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Prosecutors in Ireland are looking to charge Conor McGregor with inciting hate as he is now running for president.
Mm-hmm.
Right? See how they do it? Once you say you're going to run for something, then they want to hold you down.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? That's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they don't really care about you when you ain't really doing nothing impactful. But once you try to do something impactful, then they're going to use that dirt against you. We all got dirt, homie. If you go try to do something big enough, they'll use it against you. You got some dirt on you, homie.
I have all prefabricated dirt, homie. I don't have real dirt.
You ain't Gandhi, homie. You got something.
I got fabricated. I don't have
they'll talk to some of your exes, chicks you didn't slept with.
I think Conor McGregor is an absolute fucking shitbird. I think he's a fucking mockery. I think he's a joke, and I think he's a fucking joke and a clown.
You know what I think?
Fucking clown.
You know, I think you would never say it to his face, man to man.
You got your goddamn mind. I'm gonna weigh 140 pounds.
Man to man, I do not think you would say those same words to his face.
He can hit me 1,000 times. I'm gonna grab him by the neck and I'm gonna take his tonsils and I'm gonna grab them and through his fucking throat and I'm gonna pull his tongue out with his tonsils and then I'm gonna fucking hit him in his fucking nose and his eyes are gonna swell up so bad that little bitch is going to fucking sit there and talk about the little leprechauns he grew up fucking.
Great show, y'all. Great show. And appreciate y'all, man. Make sure you subscribe, become a member. We're going to be in the Discord all day today. Smitty is back, whether you love it, hate it. The upside down Coke bottle is not returning. This is my show now. Y'all gonna have to kill me to get me off this show. The only way out is in a box. So, and I don't plan on dying soon. So appreciate y'all, man. If y'all need me, I'll be in the Discord. Me and JB gonna be in there arguing, giving exclusive free game to all our members. So if you're not a member, you won't be in there. Like Cooper the original, who's not a member, you won't be there. You lame. Dennis Winter, if you the Discord, you gotta become a member and you get access.
Hey, shout out to the Democrat. Shout out to the Democratic Party. Let's take a look at
count Tim Walz, and we do think he's a complete asshat. But we have decided, our graphic designers have decided to go and assist Tim Walz today. And I hope you don't judge us. And we're certainly not trying to give aid to the enemy. But we've come up with outfits that he could wear. We've come up with we're going to start with this. So we're going to come up with what he could wear in the ring, to really make himself stand out, right? Got something, something else.
What do you call that one, Benny?
Well, this we call you just got to call this the tampon Tim, right? You just got tampon Tinkerbell Tim. Is this
Tinkerbell? I like that.
Yeah. This is the tampon trans Tinkerbell Tim. So the TTTTT, and then we'll go And that's probably his taunt. He'll go tee, and he'll do the jazz.
You better be careful. WWE may be hiring you as a writer because you're being pretty creative, man.
This is called
Smitty, as we watch this, are you ashamed that you voted for him?
Well, these are fake pictures. You know what I'm ashamed of? I'm ashamed that our country's at a place in which, whether you're right or left, we're just we're laughable right now. It's just like everything's a joke. It's like everything's funny. Like the
what did you
people.
say? What did you say? We're laughable?
Yeah.
Like, you mean like we're being laughed at?
Yeah. Exactly what I mean. And it's just embarrassing, homie. It's embarrassing. Like just all our leaders on both sides just making TikToks. I've seen that on the some Democrats making like crazy little video game character TikToks doing this, and then you got the other side trolling using AI photos. It's like I don't know. I just probably growing up, the leaders were the leaders. Now it feels like everybody just immature. Everybody just want to be content creators.
No?
Like everybody's content creators.
All you guys.
I know, but everybody's a content creator now. Like I just thought that dang, like the people who's running stuff, the leaders would have a separate line. It's like now it's like there's no actual leader. It's like we're all just in the same bubble. Like growing up, it was like, all right, there's certain things you would do and say when you're around your friends, your homies. But then, like, if your teacher was there, your coach, your mom, it was like a respect level, and it was a different expectation for those people in that leadership position. Now it's like everybody is in the same, but everybody just trying to be funny. Everybody concentrated. Everybody just immature. Everybody just trolling, joking. It don't matter what you could be the president, the governor, the mayor, your teacher, your coach, whatever. We're all just in the same bubble. Just TikToking and AI, and it's kind of embarrassing.
You know me, I don't give a fuck about anyone's thoughts or feelings.
Shout out to Kane though. Kane was one of my favorite wrestlers though. I was a big wrestling fan.
I don't even know who it is.
Kane was the one with the red mask and the red face. I
don't remember.
Him and Undertaker were brothers, homie. Like,
must have been after me. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't watch wrestling like that.
The hand out like this.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Grab you by your neck.
But I gotta be honest.
Choke you.
You know, I don't care what anyone thinks, whether they think I'm right, left, this and that. I have to 1000% agree with you. And that's what I don't really give a fuck about. We are a joke, dog. We are fucking laughable. I agree 1000%. I'm being honest. Like this is, it is a joke. And it's sad to see the country that I grew up in defending being this bad. I got to defend the country. I said years ago, I'm proud to be an American. I'm not proud to be in America, but I'm not going to be Rosie O'Donnell and leave either like a fucking weirdo fucking shit she is. But anyway, here's the thing, Smitty. I don't know, London or something. Here's the issue I have. Like, we are a mockery. That's no mistake about it. And I don't know why it's become this. I don't understand why. But at the end of the day, we've divided ourselves so badly between MAGA and America. And then there's a line. So MAGA and Americans are totally two different people on the right. Then on the left, you have the left, and then you have this far extreme left,
right?
Which are these made up humans, boys wanting to play girls in sports, all these different things. And so you have extreme right, which are MAGA, we would probably say. And then you have Americans, which are down the middle. I'm just an independent thinker, so I'm down the middle. I'll never wear a MAGA anything, contrary to belief. Never in my wildest mind. That's like me going and wearing a Kobe jersey or LeBron. Or I've never done that in my life, and I'm sure not going to change at 49 and go put on a MAGA outfit. MAGA to me is not American, number one. MAGA is its own entity that we created. And now people look at you as if you're not fucking MAGA, you're not American. That's not true at all. And that's what realists have to understand. I'll be damned if I put a MAGA hat on or a shirt on or some bullshit on. No. I rooted for Trump. I didn't vote. I rooted for him to win because bottom line is I've had enough after 4 years. That is why California, Smitty, has had 360,000 voters switch from left Democratic to right Republican in the last 2 months. And I think California is making a shift along with other states. And that's an American thing, I hope, not a MAGA thing, which is why I think we're divided in this country, which is fucked up. So I agree with you on the part of a joke. We are a joke. The shit I see is sickening. I'm tired of seeing it too. So it is what it is. But
and I saw something the other day about some text message accidentally went out to the wrong person about our. I don't know. It's a lot going on. I'm just keeping it at that. It's a lot going on.
Yeah. And we never know. We never know. That's the problem. And I'll never trust a politician or a priest. And I'm going to stick on that. I've always said that. Yeah. I'm never going to change my mind. Priests and politicians are the two most crooked motherfuckers on planet Earth. They always will be. They always have been. I'll never understand it. I'll never vote for it. And here's the crazy part. Please, everybody. I'm not an Elon guy. But please quit worrying about Elon being your next president. Unless he can find the guy who made Obama's birth certificate, he's not going to be the president.
Anyway, we're going to end it like that, man. I'll see you on the Discord. Appreciate y'all, man. Good to be back. I got to continue to cause with this crazy dude over here to my left. I'm going to continue to be me. I'm going to continue working on becoming a better version of me. I'm going to continue working on trying not to cuss. I probably won't be perfect, but I think I did complete this show without saying one singular curse word, so shout out to me. We're going to see y'all tomorrow, man. Work Boot Wednesday.
He's
South Africa.
He's like from South Africa, homie. He's not going to be the president, homie. Stop keying this motherfucker's card. Because if you key my shit, I'm going to fucking smoke you. I'm just saying. Stop keying the motherfucker's cards, homie. He's not going to be your president. He's South African. He cannot be the president, homie.
JBBL. All right, JBBL.
Hey. Unless he finds Obama's birth certificate maker, homie, he's not going to be the president.
All right, JBBL. We're going to holler at you, homie. Hope you have a good one, JBBL.
I don't know why, homie. It was flapping, homie.
JBBL going to make some shorts. Make some shorts with JBBL in the back.
I'm kind of yoked lately, huh?
People talking on JBBL.
Like titties yoked, like solid, crazy.
JBBL is crazy. All right, man. I'm gone. Y'all can end the show the way I want to end it. Shout out to LA. I'm back.
You what? We'll see you tomorrow. Work Boot Wednesday. Peace.